that it's, that's him 100%. I mean, without me hearing his voice, I'm like, it's unconfirmed. But if you got friends that knew him and grew up with him saying it's confirmed, then I gotta say, hey, yeah, this is probably Brian Koberger. But I did send it into the FBI. I did clip that. I also went through 80,000 phone calls, found the number, sent it into the FBI as well, and they have that, and hopefully they get down to that information.
Good. Do you know that they are in receipt of it? Did they come back to you at all?
I know they have it. I never got an email back yet. What's going on? That's a paintball. But anyway, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the stream. What are you doing, Sos? Easy. Hold up. You need your medication or something? Easy. Stop itching like that. Sos is over here itching up a storm. What you need? Your medicine? Huh? He might need his medicine. But what's going on, everybody? Welcome. Thank you, Crime on the Dime, for coming by. I said, screw the studio today. I wanted Sosa to be comfortable. His mama's not home right now, so. What up, Rebecca Lynn? Hello, T-REV in chat. My boyfriend and I are catching AKs. Is that what you said? Catching AKs. Hey, everyone. I actually caught a lot. I caught it live today instead of a replay. Yay. What up, Packers fan? Damn, Aaron Rodgers left the Packers, huh? What's going on with everybody, though? Thank you all for being here. I appreciate you. Shout out to all of you. What up, Midwest girl? Nancy D. Sandra, what's going on? Welcome. Shout out to you all, man. I appreciate you guys being here. Let's have a conversation. Let's spice it up to the Digital Rebel. Bing Bong. Love a Scorpio. How you doing? Darzilla, Cali Thunder, Jeanette Smith, Mouthy Mama, Mar, Regina, I see you. Who else we got? Michelle Mouse, Salvatore, I got your back. What's going on, Papa Sal, I told you need to get back to the daytime lives, Brent Woods, what's going on, man? Riding in my truck today. That's what's up, bro. Is it nice out? How's it looking out there? Is it nice? I missed you, Papa Sal, pal. I got your back. Send me the bull. I believe at very least there was at least a couple or a few hours of premeditation for the killers. Now let's talk about that. That is what I want to talk about. For everybody who thinks that these homicides were premeditated, let's put a 1 in the chat. Do you think that these homicides were premeditated? Do you think that the homicides at the Idaho 4 were premeditated? Yes, 78 and good in Columbus, and 78 degrees. Listening from UK, pretending to work, finally caught it live. I appreciate you, Strange Exchange. Thank you for coming by. I seen your comment on the community post. Thank you. I seen you. You were the first person to comment, by the way. I remember that. It could only be premeditated, says Josie. Let's see. Peaches and Cream, 1. Midwest Girl, 1. Josie, 1. Mar, 1. Nancy, 1. Brandy, 1. Julie, 1. Michelle, 1. Lupo Nina, 1. Darzilla, AJ. Damn. I see 1, 2 out of everybody, which is Bitch Franklin. I think that's the troll I be seeing on every single page. No, I'm just playing. I'm playing. I'm only joking. But yeah, I do see you on all the channels, though. I wasn't joking about that part. I see a lot of 1s. I see 1, 2 out of all the 1s besides Tammy and bitch Franklin. What do I think? I definitely think it was premeditated, and we're definitely going to talk about it. We're going to spice it up. We're going to listen to this podcast, and then I'm probably either going to take some phone calls. I'll let you guys decide. We'll take phone calls or open up a panel. I'll let you guys decide, and we're going to take some phone. Let me do this real quick. Hold up. Start a poll. Yeah. Do you guys want an open panel or open? Now, this is going to be decided on your vote. So, open panel. Get your votes in. This is decided on you. So, people complain about certain things, but I'm letting you guys decide. And at the end of this video, that's when we'll find out.
Crime Stories with Nancy Grace. Brian Koberger, now charged in the slate of 4 University of Idaho students. The big question right now is, how did he turn into
love is Scorpio? That's a good take. One guaranteed premeditated, the other 3 maybe not. Whew, I could see that.
The monster prosecutors say he is. Looking at a string of alleged incidents, all the way back to allegedly stalking some of the Idaho 4 via digital, via social, in months leading up to their murders, seeking them out online, at least one, if not more, of the girls on King Road. How did he find them? Did he somehow run into them when he was there, finding an apartment or touring campus there at WSU, Washington State University? Is that when their paths collided?
Right.
Did they know they were being watched? Did they ever read his emails he sent introducing himself or trying to hook up with them? Or did it go into a spam folder? Then we have the incident where he allegedly went into a female colleague's home there at Washington State University, and manipulating her into coming to him and saying, "Oh, my stars, guess what happened? Some freak's been in my apartment." And then he swoops in like the savior and sets up her Wi-Fi, finding out the password and security system so he can spy on her remote, even from his phone whenever he felt like it. I mean, what kind of a kick do you get from watching somebody else watching TV or doing the dishes or doing her hair, or the Lord only knows what else he watched? Did he
honestly? How important is motive? Motive is very important, especially when it comes to sentencing. If you want to talk about, all the shit that Sosa, what's going on? Stop, buddy. Why are you itching right there? I don't like the fact that he's itching his neck like that. He already has cancer. Like, that's actually irritating me. Why are you itching like that, buddy? Are you okay? Sosa's itching up a storm.
Install more cameras than what she...
But yeah, no. What I was saying was, it definitely is. I think motive is very important, especially when it comes to sentencing. I mean, that's how it is for our judicial system in general, or justice system, whatever you want to call it. It's definitely important when it comes to sentencing. It's important. The motive, was it premeditated? Did he plan these out? Did he not plan it? Was somebody just breaking in and then this happened, or was this, a targeted attack? I believe it's targeted. I believe this was planned. Maybe one person, and then it ended up being 4. Could it? Yeah, possibly.
Knows about. Then we have another alleged incident.
What's going on? Welcome.
Where a neighbor of the King Road victims, the 4 victims, Maddie, Xana, Kelly, and Ethan.
That's freaking me out.
That has items taken out of a suitcase, which was in her car, and the underwear shoved into the door, the car door, around the time of the murders, leading up to the murders. What else is there? Is there more? Joining me right now is a renowned psychoanalyst joining us out of Beverly Hills. It's Dr. Bethany Marshall, and you can find her at drbethanymarshall.com. Dr. Bethany, thank you for being with us. First of all,
I'm happy to be here.
I don't know that this evidence will ever make its way to the jury, these alleged similar transactions, because I know you're a psychoanalyst, Dr. Bethany, but we have discussed similar transactions many times in the past.
He's doing good.
Fingerprint crimes, or crimes that tend to prove motive, scheme, frame of mind, course of conduct, and this would definitely fall into motive. Typically in our jurisprudence system, which we brought over from Great Britain, past acts, bad acts, cannot come in. Say, let's just say Jackie is accused of shooting Sydney down one day here in the studio. Well, the prosecutor could not bring the whole list of Jackie's shopliftings. Sorry, Jackie. Because they have no bearing on the murder. That's why bad acts are typically not brought into evidence. You don't want a jury rendering a verdict based on a popularity contest. Oh, she's a bad person. She's a shoplifter. Let's convict her on murder. No. That's why many bad acts don't ever come within the juror's purview.
I'll check that out.
They never know about them. That said, if a prior bad act, be it a conviction or no, it doesn't have to be a conviction. If a prior act shows modus operandi, method of operation, course of conduct, scheme, frame of mind, then it can come in. But I don't want to talk to you about the law, whether these will ever come in before a jury. I want to talk to you about the why. And remember, the prosecution doesn't have to prove why. Doesn't matter why. So let me ask you, Dr. Bethany, why? Let's just start at the beginning. Let's start with the case in chief.
Well, I think the question of why is...
Nancy, you need to get your audio right. You hear that shit? You guys hear that audio noise that Nancy has in this?
Is so important, perhaps not from a legal perspective, but I think...
Texas Angel, nice to see you. I see Texas Angel, the other Aaron, Sereno in the building. What's going on, Sereno? Detective Pup. It's been a minute. Stephanie. Hey, T-REV, how is Sosa? I broke my foot Saturday, so I'm watching a lot of YouTube. I'm sorry to hear that, Stephanie. Hopefully your foot heals. Are you in a cast or what? Sorry to hear that. Damn. Oh, that sounds painful.
From a psychological perspective, for your listeners and for us in society to understand what motivates the Brian Kobergers of this world. So when a patient comes into my office, I try to identify what's called an organizing principle for their personality. Once I know what the organizing principle is, then all of the other behaviors begin to make sense. I would say that Brian Koberger's organizing principle is that he is a sex predator, right? That's fairly obvious at this point. And that there is a pattern to the predation that's beginning to play out in all these various incidences that you're describing, which I think will be fascinating to unpack. But we see spying on an unsuspecting victim. That tells me that he has something called scoptophilia.
Well, let me write that down. And what are you saying?
Scoptophilia, SCOPTOPHILIA. It's a fancy word for a peeping Tom. It's the least of everything that's going on.
Okay, hold on, Dr. Bethany. Being just a JD, not a psychoanalyst like you, helping all those poor, pitiful people on Rodeo Drive with all their problems. I know this, and again, it's anecdotal. It is not a statistical deduction, but so many times in rape, sodomy, not as much in child molestations, but in rape, sodomy, murders, burglaries, I'd look through the defendant's file, and this is based on a fingerprint. I'd see all the different aliases and names. And there would almost always be a peeping Tom in there, or a loitering, or a criminal trespass, which the moment I saw it, I would know that's peeping Tom. And they charged with trespass. He's like standing outside some lady's window looking in. But there would almost always, be there somewhere hidden in all the record.
That's right, Nancy. So a couple of things about that, and this is going to sound so freaky and unlikely, but I do believe it to be true. So think about the earliest form of
it sounds like criminal sexual deviant behavior pre-K. You start with a peeping Tom.
Okay, pre-K. Okay, so the earliest form of relating.
See, but the thing is, though, I feel like they're going based off of the setting up the, because the girl, if we're being honest here, the girl, allegedly, the girl had him set up video camera in his house, or in her house. I'm sorry, in her house, right? That's allegedly at this point, because I haven't heard that girl come forward or speak at all. But are they speculating on him peeping on her, or is it true? What do you guys think? Because we first heard that on Dateline. To be honest with you, I'd never heard that until Dateline 2020.
We have as human beings is looking back and forth in our mother's eyes, staring, loving, gazing. It's a very early form of relating, and often these perpetrators are caught at that earliest level of relating where they just want to stare, they want to look. But they want to look in such a way that the other person doesn't look back. They want to have all the power in the gazing aspect of attachment. Also, these guys are obsessed with sex. They have very prolific fantasy lives. They're probably masturbating as they're looking at the other person. So all the gazing and looking allows them to engage their sexual proclivities without the consent of a partner, without that other person saying, hey, I've had enough. Oh, we've had a wonderful romantic night. We've had a glass of wine. We had dinner. We had sex. Time to go to bed. That's a normal sexual relationship. But Brian Koberger does not want a normal sexual relationship. He wants a sexual relationship in which it's endless. It goes on, and his fantasy life is in charge, and he can do whatever he wants to the victim. So it's a very dominant type of sexual relationship with the other. And I think this is why this is sort of at the beginning of these offending patterns. Remember, the scoptophilia or the peeping Tom activities were there from the very beginning. It's like being a peeping Tom is like putting on the training wheels. That's where it all starts.
How early does it manifest? In puberty?
You said, I think Moscow was a coincidence. Personally, like people have said, it's like one big town, but more to do in Moscow. My bad. It was exciting to him, and he found them, and the intention was set.
I would say before puberty, and the reason for that is that, the wish to have power predates sexual interest. So it could be that he was staring and sort of taking in a lot of information about his playmates before he was aware of himself as a sexual being.
Okay, wait, how would you spot that on the playground?
Well, here's the interesting thing. There was one interesting study that came out a number of years ago. The average age of...
let's talk about it, though. So a lot of people don't believe the Dateline, but do we really think Dateline's going to get out of pocket? How sort, I don't know. I've been watching Dateline for a long time, and everything that they've covered and I ended up following up with has been true. So for them to just reach it and grab these things because it's different from what we've seen, being there's a gag order on the case. I don't know. Like I trust Dateline to a sense, but if they're wrong on this one, then I'm gonna have a problem with their program, because I've been watching their program for years, many of us have. I'm just saying, do we think Keith Morrison in their production crew is gonna fuck up their name for some views, or do we think that they're really reporting what they're hearing from this source? I mean, that's what we really need to. And if it's true, then I mean, it just furthers their credibility to me. But if it's false, I'm gonna have a problem. So that's where I stand with the Dateline. If a lot of that is false of what they said on Dateline, then I'd have a problem with their program from here on out, from when I watch it. So I'm gonna be paying attention to see if some of them things come out to be true or false. Now it says their source, so I mean, they could just turn around and pinpoint back to, oh well, our source, we didn't know. But I'm just saying,
a sex predator at that time they said was 13 years old, the most common age. Because that's when hormones began to kick in. That was the beginning of puberty, but there was no way to measure it because they're just little kids at that point. So they're not like looking at pornography. They're not breaking into people's houses. They're just on the playground. So, this is why these discussions are important, because a 13-year-old can be at the beginning of an offending pattern. And prior to the sexual aspect of the predating pattern, the power aspect begins. So you have like 6, 7, 8-year-olds who want to, hit other kids over the head and have all the power. There's an article in the New York Times about 4 or 5 years ago called, "Can a 9-year-old be a sociopath?" And they were looking at a study where 9-year-olds were exhibiting sociopathic behavior. So being the sociopath becomes first, sexuality being a major instrument of the sociopathy or a symptom of it comes second.
I don't understand how murdering these 3 young women and boyfriend Ethan Chapin happened to be there. How does that fit in as a sexual component to giving Brian Kohberger any sort of sex gratification?
Well, so remember, the predating pattern with those 4 did not start the night of the murder. Mm-hmm. It started months in advance, where he started hitting them up online, looking at pictures, developing fantasies.
Okay, so DC, are you talking about the account on Twitter that says Dateline Producer? Because if you're talking about that, I'm pretty sure Karma sent me a lot of screenshots from it. And I was like, is that the real producer, or did somebody just make the name and say producer? You know what I mean? I was trying to figure that out.
Fantasies about them. So his first trophy, I would say, would probably be pictures that he downloaded onto his computer. Probably those pictures became a part of a fantasy life. And then he graduated towards the night of the murder. So, first you hit the other person up, you DM them. Then he downloads the pictures. Then he masturbates a lot looking at the pictures. Then that's not enough. Then he has to drive to the house and look through the windows. Then that's not enough. Pretty soon he's working himself up into a sadistic fantasy. And this is...
I mean, if you just came in, you want open panel, vote open panel. If you want phone calls, vote phone calls. Right now it's 54% phone calls. So 54% people want to call in and have their 7 minutes of talking. Or if we do open panel, I might bring up 2 at a time. It depends. If I do open panel, I'm doing it my way though, because I'm not having open panel get out of hand. Like, I'm not having people come up here and try to overpower me and voice talk and all this crazy ass shit.
This is where we graduate from being a peeping Tom to a sexually sadistic murderer. So that's a progression, because there are a lot of peeping Toms who don't go on to, brutally murder people. So in order to understand how one led to the other, the peeping Tom led to brutally stabbing them multiple times, we have to understand how the mind of the sociopath works. And I've said
We're
this
just
to you
getting
many
started.
times, but I'll break it down for the audience in a very simple way. Sociopaths are very empty people. They don't have pleasure from normal things like you and I do, like maybe watching their child hit a home run, or balloons being released into the sky after graduation. They have no pleasure. They're dead inside. And
Always
so
days.
because of that, they cannot experience sexual gratification in normal ways. So they use sadism to enhance their sexual arousal. It puts them into sexual overdrive, a sexual frenzy that they experience as normal sexuality. So first, for Koberger, it's looking through windows, then it's masturbating a lot to the pictures, then it's probably being angry that he can't get them to respond to him. Then it's looking through the windows and seeing that they're having a good time and he's not invited. Then it's fantasies of maybe strangulation or rape. And then by the time he murders them, you know, the heightened sexual frenzy is very satisfying to him. So sadism, like plunging a knife into them, and sexual arousal and ejaculation all get fused together. Now, will
Are
there
you
be
saying,
semen at the
okay,
crime
because I'm trying to take it all in. So first, it starts with the trophy photos that he downloads,
Yes.
we think. Second, he starts to try to he starts a fantasy life. Then he starts trying to communicate with them.
Yes.
Then he begins to drive. This is your theory. Then he begins to drive to their home to look in their windows when they're not communicating back to him. I mean, and we don't know if they even ever got the emails because it was under it was with a social platform where, you know, like on Facebook, which many people understand, you accept someone that tries to friend you. And if you don't, then they're not
Yes.
privy to all your communications. So trophy photos he downloads, starts fantasy life, tries to communicate with them, drives to their home, starts looking in the windows. I added in a fifth one, begins stalking, in other words, finding where they work and where they go to school,
Yes.
watching them. 5, masturbating to the photos as part of his fantasy life. 6, anger as he's watching them living life, befriending other people, going to parties, having
Yes.
dates with other guys, and not responding to him. The anger. That's where you lost me.
Okay. So what happens at that point is that he cannot experience sexual arousal in the normal ways anymore. Just masturbating to their photos or masturbating while looking through their windows is no longer enough to feel sexually satisfied. He has to graduate to sadism.
Not that I know of.
Okay, that is the important link, that he cannot, maybe perhaps he can't even ejaculate anymore without the thought of hurting someone. So
Is it because of the anger that they're not responding to him?
No. Anger is sort of, I think, the middle phase. I think towards the end, it's sadism. Knowing that he's hurting them
Really
enhances the sexual arousal. So, you know, I don't know.
Or anger in this case that one of them was moving away. I don't know if he realized that. But they're not responding to him. And I've seen so many cases, Dr. Bethany, where the perpetrator, typically a male, the anger is fused and ignites when the woman won't go out with them, won't respond to them, rejects them. Now, it's my belief as a complete non-professional in mental health care that that is an excuse, that they're full of anger anyway. And when the woman says, no, I don't want to go out, or I don't want to dance, or no, I don't want to drink, I think that that's an excuse to attack. Because with a regular person, if somebody says no, then you go like, okay, thanks anyway, next.
Well, I think we want to attribute normal human psychology to these people. like, oh, you know, a lot of domestic homicide is when the woman's about to leave or divorce the man. And so, oh, it must follow that pattern. But to speak to your line of thinking, which I think is more accurate, the victim is about to move away, so they have to escalate the offending pattern. So think about a cat with a mouse. I mean, it's so simple, but the mouse runs away, the cat delightedly runs after, pounces, and brings the mouse back. And there's ultimate predatory control and delight in bringing the mouse back. Maybe the cat even presents that.
Hold on, let's see. Let's take it on the fly. 815, you're live. What's going on?
What's up, brother?
How's it going, man? You can hear me?
Good. Fine. Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, I'm making sure. What's going on? What's your thoughts, man? You think that this was premeditated by Brian Kohlberger, allegedly?
Well, it depends on what is premeditated. I mean, if you kill four individuals, at least two alone, it could be methodical, but premeditated. What they're saying in that AFI, man, it's doubtful. Is it really, Brian?
Is it? I mean, you tell me. What's your thought?
I mean,
this for your thoughts. What's up?
That is kind of the thing, man. I mean, I'm a content creator myself as well. Only have a small YouTube channel. I like to stay in that gray area because I want evidence. Don't you want like evidence? Don't you just like, or do you just go with the flow?
Hold on, let me put these headphones in because I'm having a hard time hearing you. Let me fix this real quick. I'll fix it all over. It's 1, 2, 3. All right, go ahead. I'm having a hard time when you have to plug in headphones.
No worries. Let me see if I can fix that for you. Do you rather
you hear me,
go with
right?
the flow, or do you like to see the evidence as it is? I mean, if we read that affidavit, right? I mean, and it's an affidavit. An affidavit is necessary to let a judge sign it.
Right.
So we can take that. We can kind of take that affidavit with a grain of salt, basically. But if we read that affidavit, we can leave that DNA kind of behind.
Your mic is so low, bro. Nobody can even hear what you're saying.
Hold on.
Yeah, no, not even the chat can't even hear you. I can't hear you, and the chat can't hear you.
No worries. I will call back in a second.
It sounds like, I don't know. It's hard to hear you. Hard to hear. Thank you, Midwest. I appreciate you. I plugged in headphones and still couldn't hear him. I mean, shout out to him though. Shout out to whatever he just said. I didn't hear a word. Sorry about that, buddy. I didn't hear one word you said, honestly.
A half-dead mouse to the owner with delight. And in this case, you know,
he was in
you
water.
have put so much time and energy into planning a crime, and now your victim's moving out of the state. You know, you better escalate it. Now, remember what some of his classmates said, that before the crime, this was in graduate school, he would show up exhausted every day. He would always walk into class with a cup of coffee, like he hadn't had enough sleep. That tells me he was up all night planning this, thinking about it. And so when the victims are about to move away, he's losing control. So, you know, if they were all going to stay there, maybe the crime would have been 3 months later or 6 months later. After the crime, remember he proctored tests. He started handing out hundreds, A+ to everyone. So we can also think of this as a compulsion that was.
Let's see. 815, you're live. Are you out that tunnel, man? What's going on?
All right, this should be way better, I think.
Yes, sir. I can hear you perfectly now. You're good.
Okay, good. How you doing, Rev?
How's it going, brother? How you doing? How's your day going, first of all? And what's your name? Where you from? And what's your thoughts?
Well, my name is Frank. I'm from the Netherlands. And I'm a small content creator, just like yourself. Well, you're way bigger than me, by the way, so kudos on that. But
okay.
I mean, we're talking about a Kohlberger, right?
Yes,
If you
sir.
would think about it, if you would read the affy, right? I mean, the affidavit is kind of like a thing that a judge needs to sign, so it needs to be kind of like over exaggerated for a judge to sign it.
Mm-hmm.
If you would leave the DNA behind that, right?
Yes, sir.
And you would read that the rest of that affidavit, they spotted him before they got the DNA match.
Mm-hmm.
So Deja, yeah, exactly. I'm sorry, I was just reading. But the thing is, that is really bothering me. Well, a lot of things are bothering me.
Yeah, are you saying that them spot or them knowing about him before is bothering you?
No, they already knew beforehand. And it's kind of a lucky guess, though, because if you read it affy, even though it's kind of like over-exaggerated, you know, but if you read it beforehand, they already acknowledged him, and then they did that DNA match,
Mm-hmm.
which is like 1 in a million. And if you read it affidavit, one day, my man, one day it took them to get a DNA match. That is not a DNA match. That's a paternity test.
Mm-hmm.
They did a paternity test with that knife sheath evidence that they had, and they to the DNA of that trash.
Okay. I'm listening. Go ahead. You got 7 minutes. Floor is yours.
I mean, don't you think that's odd? If this guy really did it, I mean, Rev, listen, why would he take his own car? That is bothering me. If this guy really staked this place out so many times, like 12 times, as they allegedly say, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why would he need 4 times to maneuver around that house?
I mean, it's the same. I guess I could say the same thing about why do people out here in Chicago do drive-bys with their license plates showing on camera and shit.
But in that affidavit, it first shows that he has a Pennsylvania license plate. The second page, it shows that he has apparently a Washington license.
Mm-hmm.
It does not add up.
Right.
This investigation is fucking weird.
I'm listening. Go ahead. Keep going.
But I can get why people say that this is, believe me, I get why people think that he is it. And believe me, Rev, I send you emails, I predicted this guy. Spot on. I knew he went to Clarkston. I knew he went to Lewiston. I fucking predicted that he went through the 195, the I-95, the I-8. That is just by sheer deduction, because the Moscow PD was looking for West Side cameras. That guy was 100% from Pullman. If this guy is it, I hope it's him, then I will be the first guy to bloat about it.
Mm-hmm.
But I am telling you, I think there is an influence of the university.
Which one? WSU or Idaho?
Idaho, 100%.
Okay. So I mean, what are your thoughts on the DNA that they covered at the scene? Like, what are your thoughts on that? Do you think that was planted or what?
No. I'm not going into the entire conspiracy thing. It's really simple. It depends on how many LUs they have. What that means, if you have touch DNA,
Mm-hmm.
touch DNA can be converted into 2 profiles. It can be a low profile or a high profile. In martial court, so military court, touch DNA is not even evidence. They discard that. Proper DNA is either a buccal swab, so that means a mouth swab. It's like all your internal fluids. That is proper DNA.
I got
nothing else.
Yeah.
Touch DNA can be easily discarded.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure if they got touch DNA, I mean, that just gets them to the rest of the evidence they need. They might not even use that shit. I mean, 51 terabytes,
Exactly.
expecting there to be some heavy evidence in there.
But what is the heavy evidence then? His
car being at the scene. I don't know. I can't. But heavy evidence to me, I can explain that. What, blood on the gas pedals and shit like. I mean, DNA from the victims in the vehicle. That would be heavy evidence to me.
True, but that is speculation from both our parts, right? Because we don't know.
Oh, absolutely. But I mean, one thing we do know, he got indicted by a grand jury. They had 51 terabytes of evidence. I mean, I'm expecting there to be some telltale evidence in there. If there's not, he walks. If there is, he's stamped in there forever. 50-50.
But Rev, he got indicted by a grand jury. Is that either a strategy from the prosecution, because a grand jury is heavily for the prosecution because the defense doesn't have a case to show, does it?
I mean, it is. To be honest with you, people make this out to be more complicated than it is. Just because it's a high profile. I mean, this happens with celebrities too when they die. I mean, Pac, Biggie, we can keep going on to Jamie Foxx right now. Like when there's high profile cases or celebrities, people come up with these crazy different angles and all, and it's really not even that complicated because yes, there is innocent people in prison. Yes, there's innocent people. Yes, there's different things that go on in the system, but evidence is evidence.
But let me give me another theory, which I personally believe.
Mm-hmm.
This guy was pretty ballsy, killing 4 people in a house and left 2 alive, right?
Right.
And if we truly believe that Kohlberger did this,
mm-hmm.
he studied serial killers, right? In criminology. Now, this isn't hypothetical that I'm going to say. What if this guy was so methodical and maybe on purpose, driving his own car, switching license plates, leaving that K-bar knife, because if you turn it around, maybe that's like his acronym, it's BK, the same thing. It's not really hypothetical, but if he wanted to write the perfect pieces for his PhD, what if he would be the mass murderer that will be exonerated?
I mean, we'll see if he gets that exonerated. I mean, he says he'll be exonerated, so I mean, we'll find.
Rev, what is? I mean, we are all true crime fanatics, right? What is the thing that we are interested in by serial killers? How do we get to know about serial killers? Is that they got caught. Now, what if this guy writes history on getting exonerated on a mass murder charge? Wouldn't that be crazy?
I gotta see it happen. I gotta see it happen first.
You can wait until October, brother.
You know what I mean? I gotta see it happen. He's got to be. I mean, to get exonerated, you gotta first be put in prison.
Well, it depends. Exonerated means like not charges at all. Like 0 charges, that's what exonerated
Most
means.
killers that I know that got exonerated, or people that got released from prison were got convicted first.
Have you ever seen a trial where a mass murderer or a serial killer gets exonerated? I didn't.
No, not a case that I was paying attention to at the time. No, absolutely not. Now I have seen cases where people have got exonerated. For instance, I mean.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm trying to remember who we got. Steve. I mean, the biggest one that everybody should know of in this room is Stephen Avery. Did 18 years and got exonerated. There was another one that I was just watching that a guy got exonerated on. I'm trying to remember his name. There's a couple different cases where people got exonerated, but they got exonerated after they did a mass amount of years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That is technically after the fact. Usually that happens in smaller counties.
Everybody's talking about OJ in the chat also, so I mean, we throw OJ in the mix too.
Well, OJ didn't get exonerated.
No, I'm saying in general, people are talking about these cases. Doesn't exonerated mean that you have to be fully convicted, charged, etc.? If he could prove his actual innocence, then that's exonerated. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. It's like fully proved innocence. It's like without any charges left.
But
that is interesting, though. I mean, sure, this guy is smart, and sure, this guy is but he's not a mastermind,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I worked in the mental health field, and this guy is by no means. He seems more autistic to me then he's like this mastermind. Sure, he can be like kind of deceptive in his way of like looking and like not having any emotions whatsoever. But that doesn't mean that guy. I mean, we saw that Tapatalk crop, right? That guy has emotions. I mean, and just something that you posted 10 years ago doesn't necessarily mean that you reflect on that on your current position.
I mean, so we break it down like this, like exonerate. So I just want to pull it up for everybody so they know the definition, because some people may not know. Especially of an official body absolve someone from blame for a fault or wrongdoing, especially after due consideration of the case. They should exonerate these men from this crime. And then number 2 example is release someone from a duty or obligation. Pope Clement V exonerated the king from his oath to the bearings. So I'm just like, there's little, you can look that up on Google and get the definition in full. But adjective, another one is having been cleared of an accusation or freed from blame. That's what exonerated is. So after years behind bars for a crime he didn't commit, the exonerated man walks out of prison or out of the prison gates and into the light of day. So I'm sure, do we really think this guy will be exonerated? We haven't even seen the case play out for us. So, I mean, I feel like that's a jump to a conclusion. Just because it came out of his mouth doesn't mean that he's going to be exonerated, but it's going to be talked about, right? It's going to be talked about. It's going to be talked about a lot. In fact, that's one of the most talked about things within this case right now, because he said, allegedly, I can't wait to be exonerated. So
because he probably knew or something, I mean, I am not a freaking Houdini that knows everything.
Just like he said, or allegedly, we don't know this, but just like he allegedly said, is anybody else, it locked up or whatever the fact, or something to that manner. He said, but
that's
is that to place doubt? Is that to place doubt to set up for a appeal later on, or what is it?
I mean, he didn't say directly. I mean, his former lawyer kind of testified that for him, didn't he?
We'll this is going to be a spicy trial, a very, very spicy trial. It's going to be spicy.
Don't we like spice though?
Man, I do, but I want to see the victims get the proper justice. So if this is the right person, we need to get to that. If it's not, we need to get it out the way.
But
you know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
time is of essence in every crime. Time is of essence. Like they say, when a murder happens, the first 48 hours are the most important.
Yeah, and those 48 hours were there's a lot of controversy between those 48 hours. What exactly happened?
Right. Well, I appreciate you calling in, bro. I'm gonna get some more people to call in. The line's been open. I don't know why nobody else has called, but if I might open up the panel here shortly, so we'll have a little open discussion maybe, or if the people keep calling, I'll keep answering. It is what it is. I appreciate you calling in, brother. God bless you. I hope you have a good day. What time is it there in the Netherlands?
It's let me see. It's 9:15.
My man. Well, shout out to you. I appreciate you calling up and having a voice in the community. Someone's calling in right now. I'm gonna take it. God bless you, brother.
Peace out, man.
Thank you, man. 828. What's going on? 28, you're never too late. What's going on?
Hey, T-REV, man. Listen, this is Kirky from North Carolina. Man, I got this is my only mindset about it right now, man, is I'm thinking, man, what if Emma Bailey and the Demetrius guy, what if they knew Kohlberger and they hired him to go there to take care of these people?
Mm-hmm. I'm listening.
You know what I'm saying? Like what if all three of them are involved? I don't know, man. I'm just I get to check you out all the time. I apologize for never calling in now, but I thought, well, he doesn't have anybody. Let me
anybody's more than welcome to call in. Now, do you think that they would be running free, or would he done snitched on them by now? You know what I mean?
Well, that. Well, okay. I remember when he very first got arrested, they asked it. The very first thing out of his mouth that I understand was, "Well, have you arrested anybody else?"
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And usually somebody's automatic like reaction to that I mean, to any question, when you get, when you're caught, or when you think, oh God. So I don't know if, I don't know, maybe I'm just, I don't want to be like just this, thinking that I'm making something up, but just from all the facts that I've heard, I think maybe, do you think maybe that he has already told on, these people? Because it seems like that they were trying to set that Emma Bailey girl up. You know what I mean? Through the whole DWI thing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that? Yeah. Just last question. Do you think that I maybe I'm overthinking it?
I mean, to be honest with you, everybody has their own thoughts, but it depends where you get those thoughts. Like, did you hear that from hearsay? This, that, and the third over on, a channel that doesn't give a fuck, and they just take any type of material and bring it to online? Or did you gather those thoughts yourself and take a look at the case yourself and say, well, yeah, I think they're involved? Did you find them being talked about in the case at all? Like, did you find it being talked about by law enforcement or anybody going, hey, we're looking for more people? Or did you gather like that? Or did you go down a rabbit hole and find their names? And now you're thinking that?
I think I've just been going on like everything that I've just been digging into, because, I'm not that guy to just sit around.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just kind of, I'd like to make up my own mind. I try not to listen to too many other people's opinions.
For sure. You got to always gather your own opinion on it. Like me, I've gathered my own, but there's plenty of other people that have a different opinion. But I still respect, like, we can respectfully disagree with each other all day long. You know what I mean? But some people just get so angry about the case, they just start getting disrespectful. And it's like, man, think what you want. Think what you want, respect each other, and at the end of the day, have a healthy conversation. When it comes,
hey, you know what? That's exactly what it's about, man. I've always tried to live my life by always, no matter what the situation is, always do unto the other person. So, what I'm saying? Hey, and that's always like, that's always been 100% with me. So, but hey, listen, before I forget, man, listen, I want to say absolutely thank you for always being the level-headed, completely 50-50 guy on everything that you talk and discuss, man. And I want you to know, ever since this stuff, man, you're one of my only 2 or 3 channels that I even pay any attention to over this Idaho stuff. So hey, you're right on time, man. Thank you, man. I really appreciate it, dude.
God bless you, brother. Thank you for the wonderful words, and I appreciate you calling up and even having the audacity to say what you feel about this case in general. Salute to you, brother. I hope you have a wonderful day, and hopefully I hear from you again.
Hey, I will, man. Hey, do me one more favor, dude, and just, hey, promise me you'll take it easy for the rest of the day.
Yeah, I'm hanging out, man. I'm hanging out with you guys today.
That's right, man. Thank you. Keep on keeping on, and I will talk to you sooner than later.
God bless you, my Carolina brother. I got a lot of family up there, or down there, should I say, because I'm in Chicago now. But shout out to y'all, and stay safe and enjoy the summer. And hopefully, like I said, I hear from you again, my brother.
That's right, man. Hey, one last thing. North Carolina is actually the real basketball state.
Hey, stay safe down there. Enjoy your summer, brother. It's nice hearing from you. Yeah,
man. Hey, I appreciate you, T-REV. God bless you.
God bless you, brother. Shout out to him, man. If you want to call in, 219-885-9693. Let it go again. Let it round again. Shout out to him. 219-885-9693. What's your thoughts? What's up? My man said Demetrius. Emma, he went down that rabbit hole. That is what it is. Per the police report, Demetrius and Bailey were caught with drugs and white powder that crushed up vitamins. What? That they were loading their bags. Druggies are not loyal to anyone but themselves. Exactly. People would be snitching like that. They don't have nothing. I bet you anything. I bet you my channel, those people that have nothing to do with this Idaho 4K. I bet you they have nothing to do with these murders. I'll put it all out there just like that. I'll start from square one if they did. It's just an angle created to get views and to make speculating minds go to another level. That's all that is. That's just how I feel. But that's my opinion. Yours may be different, and I respect it. But that's what I feel about it. Until I'm proven wrong, I'll stand on it. If I'm stand on that shit, I'll start from square one, 0. 434, you're in the door. What's going on?
No shit. Oh, hey, so it's so curious. I'm on my Charlottesville to Richmond drive. I actually can't believe that I got through to you.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you there? So, I don't know. Now that I've got you, I'm not sure of all the things I want to say, because every time I listen to something and then I'll have thousands of things to say, and then the next time I have other things to say. So here's my thing. I'm gonna guess, I'm gonna predict that they probably actually have video of this guy somewhere, somehow. I mean, if you're right, if they don't have evidence, then okay, they don't have evidence. But I just feel like they've got to have. There's so much blood. There was so much everything. They've got to have evidence that we just don't know about, and that's where I stand.
And I feel like there's a lot of evidence in this case. But hey, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
If I'm wrong, I'm wrong too. We're good.
Think about the force and everything that it takes to do something like this with 4 victims.
I know, but exactly. But I mean, they said he was in good shape. They said, he, ran 6-minute. I mean, they have all this stuff that we just don't know about. And what takes up the most terabytes? What takes up the largest
video footage?
Yeah, they say that's what I think. I think they're going to have him somewhere, somehow. And all the stuff with them, not, the towers pinging wrong and stuff. If I remember right, they have it pinging and a picture of his car in front of some coffee shop or something on his way home. I think that I remember, like, they linked it up together. I don't know why he would. I do think he probably was thinking he could do this and get away with the perfect crime. And, that guy said thesis, Detective John says book. I just think he thought, okay. And they were exceptionally gorgeous girls and boys. They really were exceptionally gorgeous. So I imagine, if he ran across him, in terms of premeditation, I don't know if he really meant to do all that, but I definitely think he had them, in his head somehow.
Just the digital footprint will be overwhelming. I'm waiting to see.
That's what I think.
That's what the detective put in the chat. I was like, what? Are
you feeling better?
Yeah,
I was on Discord earlier.
I slept 17 hours. I mean,
yeah, but what?
That's a long time.
That is a long time, but you probably needed it. But earlier today, you didn't sound very good, so I'm glad to hear you sounding better. And I can't believe I drive this route, Charlottesville to Richmond, Virginia, all the time, and I always have to listen to repeat lives. So I'm so happy to actually get through.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, I don't know, unless you have a question. I just wanted to try, and I can't believe I got through. So
I mean, like, where were you at when this case first started? Like, where was your mind when it first started?
When it first started. So, okay. If you might remember this, but the same day, like I said, I live in Charlottesville. A guy shot and killed 3 of the UVA football players. Mm-hmm. Right. So on that same day, so that sort of took my, everything for a little while. I was not expecting it to be somebody to come out of the blue. I mean, I was with all of you guys on, and I still don't know what is the deal with Jack Showalter. Is he like really MIA? Does anybody have any idea where he? I mean, I keep hearing, he never came back, but so yeah, no, that was totally out of the blue, and I was like following all the things, and then that was like, holy shit. But on the other hand, once they released even the smallest amount of evidence, it just fits. And I just am like, who would want to set this one particular guy up?
Right.
Is he really going to take money from anybody else to go do this. And I mean, it's all weird. So it's not like I have any real idea, but it makes sense to me that given everything that I have heard from law enforcement and and listening to your channel, it seems to me that it just.
Well, always remember, if you haven't heard it from law enforcement, it's not true. You got. I always like to put that out there just for the fact.
I love that.
You know why I like to put it out there is just because it really isn't true until it's verified by law enforcement. And our people forget in the USA, it's got to be verified by law enforcement for it to be true now. People.
I totally agree.
People claim these things are true, but are you reporting it to law enforcement? Are they following up and putting it together or no? That's always
and so the Dateline thing here, my question is, I mean, I'm like you. I don't know. I think I'm like you. As far as Dateline is concerned, would they really put their entire thousands of years of dressing up as bushes and catching, stings of pedophiles and stuff, would they really put that whole show on the line for something that they couldn't back up? And even though there's a gag order, if that happened to that girl, his colleague, then she could have told somebody about it at the time, and that person could have come forward and said, hey, besides, the gag order for people who know somebody who's in, who something happened to, involved in the case, if they told them about it, like when it happened, they don't have to not talk to the media, right? It's just the lawyers and all those people. So to me, if that happened to a friend of mine, and the media came and asked me about it, I'd be like, yeah, that's what she told me. Is that considered a source? I mean, is that a good enough source? But we don't know. So we don't know. But
that's the same problem I have.
Yeah. So you're awesome. You're the only person that I listen to anymore. So I just I like all the people's different ideas, and I just like to think about what's going to happen. Although, like the guy that shot up that, I don't know, 5 years ago, he shot up the trials are going on right now. And how come it took 5 years if they know that that's who did it? So that worries me how long this is going to take. But just as long as I don't know, justice needs to come faster for those families, in my opinion.
Yeah, I hope it does. And I hope that law enforcement did good work here, like all the other professionals believe they did. There's a lot of opinions out there that say otherwise, but we'll see. Because this case is, when you have a case that's front line and center constantly, there's gonna be controversy, and people we gotta accept that as people who love true crime. There's gonna be controversy when a case is front and center in America, and this was a case that's front and center and still kind of is right now. Yeah,
it is. And it should be. And, thankfully, technology has increased to the point where now, at least they can have evidence. If you think back to even BTK, it took a lot longer to find him because they didn't have the technology. I thought it was funny. That guy was like, it was a paternity test. Like, who's the father of the knife sheath? But anyway,
I appreciate you calling in. This says
thank you.
Right?
It is.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Out of Virginia.
I remember talking to you this morning in Discord.
Yeah, we did. All right. Hey, have a good day. Thank you.
And God bless you. Stay safe and stay safe on that road.
I'm almost there. That's why I had to call.
I know how the Richmond streets are.
Huh?
I said, I know how the Richmond streets are. That's not how that area is out there. I used to go out to Richmond a lot.
I know, and I'm running on an expired inspection sticker, but I don't have to go all the way into Richmond. So,
well, stay safe. God bless you. I appreciate you calling in, and you have a wonderful day.
Hey, thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
All right, bye.
Shout out to her. God bless her. Lock your doors too. Stay safe on the road out in Richmond. I see a couple people calling in 219-885-9693. Make sure you call in. What's your thoughts? What do you think? Do you think they don't have this case together? Do you think law enforcement did a good job? Do you think they did a bad job? What come on, let's hear it. A lot of people got a lot of thoughts when it comes to this case. 623, you're on with me. What's going on?
Hello.
Hey, how you doing, man?
Hi, this is Grandma Patty again.
Grandma Patty, 7 minutes. The floor is yours. Play that beautiful piano and let's hear you.
Hey, listen, I think that this guy did this all by himself, and that's just the way I feel. But the reason I called was I have a bone to pick with Papa Sal.
Woo! Let's hear it.
Why did he not go and audition when The Sopranos was going on? He sounds like as if I was watching The Sopranos. I think he's wonderful. So that's all I really wanted to say.
That's awesome.
And to say hi to you again, and glad you're feeling better, and give your grandma a hug, and everybody that's on chat, I love them too. And that's all I really wanted to say. I just wanted to get in that with Papa Sal.
You always call with blessing messages. You always call with blessing messages. You got a beautiful heart, Grandma Patty.
Thank you. And just know that I love you.
I love you back too. Thank you so much for calling and uplifting my spirit with the wonderful words coming from your soul. I can feel it. Thank you for being such a beautiful person. We appreciate you. I remember when you made me cry live on stream when I was in my studio. I'll never forget that. You'll always have that imprint on my heart, and I appreciate you calling up with such soul and beauty and speaking such wonderful words when you do call. It's an honor to talk to you.
Oh, and thank you for that. And listen, give your grandma a hug for me.
Yes, ma'am. I absolutely will, Grandma Patty. Absolutely.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. God bless your soul.
God bless you. Bye-bye.
Shout out to Grandma Patty. What a wonderful person. What a wonderful person. Love her. What a wonderful person. Shout out to Grandma Patty. 219-885-9693. Let's hear something. Gotta love that woman, man. She made a room full of 3,000, 4,000 people cry during the case. Shout out to Grandma Patty. She will forever have an imprint on my heart. I'll never forget that. 337, you're live. What's going on?
Hey, T-REV, it's Delana in chat.
Delana? What's going on, Delana?
Not much. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly fine.
Cool. All right. Well, I wanted to go over kind of a little bit of what they were talking about on that podcast at the intro.
Yeah, Joe.
And
let's hear about it.
Well, if you remember that bar owner, whatever, that said that Brian Koberger had been put in as like I don't know, creepy or whatever, that there were issues with him.
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't know, if that's true, but it was on the news. They did an interview or whatever, and then that date that he went on, and that girl did that little news clip on how weird her date was with him and all that. Again, I don't know if it's true. It was just on the news. But and then now this associate that had the system put into her house, and he had access. Anyway, you add all that stuff up, like he's been creeping for a while. And if that panty, the girl that had the neighbor that had the panties in her cup holder, if that's true, it's just like, look at the whole string of things that have happened. So I do believe what that podcaster was saying, that doctor talking about, sexual deviant of some sort. And then we've got him 12 times prior, between June and November 13th. 12 times he pinged to that house. So I just feel like that's all true. I think he's the one that did it. I mean, hands down. I know it's got to be proven in court, but there's just so many things.
I know you got a lot of notes. You're a librarian, so I know you know.
I do. I got all my notes right here. I
know you got a lot of notes when it comes to this case. I know when somebody asks something, you're like, "Well, they had this." That I'm like, "Damn, I gotta go to Delana when I'm thinking about something with this case and I don't remember it."
Yeah.
Because I've seen that. You definitely take notes on everything when it comes to this case, especially the date lines, everything.
I take notes on everything. I have 3 notebooks in front, and I printed off all the paperwork all the documents and highlighted everything as well. So,
Well, I mean, how much are you charging for a binder?
huh?
I said, how much are you charging for a binder? A copy, you know?
I'll give you a binder, dude.
You
I'll
know?
send that to you.
I'm a sloppy
Yeah.
person. I just grab everything, I'll screenshot, take this, that, and the third, and shove it in one folder.
Well, I can tell you I'm not as organized as Hollis, but I can organize it like that. But, you know, yeah, but I have everything written down. But so, yeah, I want to say all those things about, you know, all those supposed incidents where he was weird around a girl, you know what I mean? And then the 12 prior times that they pinged him at the house. And then on August 21st, that day, he was at the residence from 10:34 at night to 11:35 at night for an hour. And then 2 minutes later, he gets pulled over by the Latah County Sheriff's Department. But they don't have that information is redacted. It tells you, so they're going to have video of that. That's not the video. I don't think that's the same video that we've all been looking at. When he got pulled over, that's not from that August 21st. It's a different date. I can't remember what the date was. But anyway, that just shows that, you know, it was a pattern. He developed a pattern stalking these girls. You know, that's what sticks out to me. And then my other thing about the sheets, I wanted to say, well, two things. One is I feel like he had on a pair of Dickies pants. I know Dickies was like on one of his receipts. And those carpenter pants, I don't think he had a belt on for the sheath, is what I'm saying. I think he had that on, like the little hammer loop. You know what I mean?
Yes, I know. Yep.
And then in the struggle, it just got popped off. You know, it fell off in the struggle. So that's how I think he lost the sheath. Whether that's true or not, that's just speculation. But I just don't.
But it came off somehow. So, but I mean, you know what I mean? We're speculating, but in reality, a knife sheath. They say the knife sheath was found where? On the bed, correct?
Yeah, on the bed next to the right side of Maddie. I can't remember.
So it's obvious it got knocked off. There was some type of struggle. You know, it's obvious.
Definitely. Yeah. So, and then I saw some people putting out that they're not going to use the sheath in court, but that's not true. That's not what the verbiage says in the paperwork that they filed. It says that the last line is really the only one that really matters, I guess. It says any genetic genealogy research is exempt from disclosure. So they don't have to hand that testing to the defense. That's what it says in the paperwork.
That's starting to bother me that people are saying that. And I didn't mean to cut you off, but it's bothering me that people are starting to say that, well, they're not using the knife sheath. Well, where did you get that information? Can you show me that on paper?
Right, because it says right at the top part of it, in regard to the defense request, the genetic testing and search is subject and intends to be a separate filed motion. So they don't have to hand that over right now, what I'm saying. And then the last line says that. So that's my take from it. I'm not an attorney. I don't know. But that's the way I read it. They didn't say we're not using the sheath. They're saying we don't have to produce that to you. The testing part, the genetic testing part. So, and then let me see. Oh, and I have like 100 things to say, but I'll keep it short. When they're stepping over that blood pool, or that's what I think, it's like a blood pool right there in front of that good vibe sign that you guys were talking about. I feel like at that time he was like wiping that knife, and that good vibe sign lit up his face enough for Dylan to see it. And that's probably what they're stepping over right there is, like dripping from the knife as he like wiped it clean or whatever as he was leaving. That's just my theory, but that good vibe sign would have lit up his face as he came around that corner if you look at the pictures of the layout. So, and he probably couldn't see her because the light was in his face. You know what I mean? Anyway.
No, but that is a good point though, because that light, I mean, the whole entire light is pretty, it would cast a decent amount of light.
Right.
I see that same sign on Amazon too, actually.
Yeah, no, I looked them up actually.
You seen it on Amazon also?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, when I was looking up neon signs for you that said live stream or whatever.
I'm gonna actually get a couple.
Oh yeah, that's
one for in here.
Yeah, no doubt, that'd be cool. I looked up some that they have some neon ones that say live too.
You could create your own too. Like you can create your own saying and they'll make it.
Oh really?
Yeah, but it cost. I mean, it was like $300, but you could still create what you wanted to say, and you'll be able to hang it up wherever.
Dang, a T-REV 757 would be cool.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see. I think that, I mean, I had a lot of other stuff to go over, but I can save that for a panel and let other people call in or whatever.
Yeah, we definitely, I don't know. You never know. I might even just open this panel if nobody calls in. We'll see.
Yeah.
But we're definitely going to have an open panel. I want you to I want you to come up here with your notes, Hollis and Papa Sal, and get us all together and have a discussion.
Yeah, definitely. Because, I lined up all the phone pings, and that's what I was going to say. They have numerous video of him leaving and coming back to the scene and then doing it again when he went back later that morning.
Yeah.
So the phone pings match up with, except for when he turned it off, they match up with his route of travel. And they got numerous videos from businesses and residents. So that's going to be a lot right there. I mean, they're very specific about the videos in their PCA. So, and the front license plate wasn't there because he didn't have to have one from Pennsylvania. And so that's so that reduces the number of, white Elantras that would be riding by at those times. And then, not to mention the phone pings included with that. So I just feel like they have a lot of evidence on him, and we just don't even know a tenth of it.
That's exactly what I think. I definitely think the same thing. And the gag order, that's why they have a tight gag order on there, because it would sway a lot of people, I feel like. You know what I mean? Like they don't want to let that information get out there because it's going to sway a lot of minds. So there's a lot of speculation in the community just for how high profile this case is.
Exactly. And when they did that PCA, everybody's like, oh, you could poke holes through it. Well, they only had to have enough to prove to another state that they needed to take action, So, and they had a lot more in there than I would have thought they would have put out anyway in the PCA, but they needed a little more detail because it was across state lines,
Right.
So, that stuff in the PCA blows me away. So if that's just a fraction of it, then it's like, holy shit. you know, and that was also in the beginning. We don't know what the results are from his vehicle and, you know, what they found in his home exactly and on all of his metadata and stuff like that. We don't have any idea about any of that stuff. Anyway, but yeah, that's pretty much all I got right now. So,
well,
if you do panel, I'll come up. I got my notes ready, and
like I said, it's gonna be when we do it. It'll be me, you, Sal, Hollis. We got to get you guys all in the same time. I know you're going out of town, right? Aren't you going to Florida?
yeah, 2 weeks though.
2 weeks? Yeah, we'll be able to do it way before then. I mean, we could probably do it tomorrow, honestly.
Okay.
I don't want to make a time because you know my sleep schedule is like wicked right now.
I know.
I'm gonna try to take these tonight. Like after I watch the new Ghost Adventures, I'll take these and then melatonin and try to lay it down. Hopefully, but we'll see how that works out.
Yeah. Well, good. Hopefully you'll be back on schedule after today. So.
No doubt, Delana. Thank you for calling in. I'm gonna talk to you in Discord. We talk every day, so.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you for calling in, Delana. Lock your damn doors.
Yes. Bye.
Thank you. Shout out to Delana. Wonderful person, sweetheart. Same as Grandma Patty. Big soul, big heart. Wonderful person's been here ever since she's found me. She's been here. She's been a supporter. Gotta love her. Shout out to her. 219-885-9693. $317 sent from heaven. What's going on?
What's up, T?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. And I'm just gonna say, man, I think that John hit it on the head, man. This is a slam dunk.
Okay.
They got way too much against this guy, all this evidence, and I think his only way to save his life is to go in there and say he didn't plan on doing what he did. He went in there for another reason, and things went sideways. And I think that's why he didn't plead not guilty. I think that's why he stood in silence, because he knows they got all this evidence against him. And the only way to save his life is to say he didn't mean to go in there and actually commit the crimes that he committed. But all this, he had help, and this is a guy, he acted alone, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he went in there, like a lot of experts say, greed, sex, and revenge. And those are the reasons these crimes are committed. So, love your show, man. That's my opinion. I think they got the right guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the only way he's gonna coward his way out by saying he didn't mean to commit the crimes the way they happened. He went in there, used the knife as control, and things went sideways.
I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for calling in. Where are you calling in from?
Indiana.
Where are you, by Indianapolis or what?
Yeah, I'm in Noblesville.
I'm on the border of Chicago, Michigan, and Indiana.
Oh yeah, you're up north there, man. I got family in Hammond.
Yeah, that's right. That's right here.
Yeah. My wife's grandpa just passed away, man. We went to a funeral up there Saturday.
Oh man, God bless you, brother. Was it
Hey, I appreciate that, man.
God bless you, man. I'm sorry that you guys had to go through that. My prayers are with you and your wife. I hope that you guys make it through that and find some closure and love in your heart over. I don't know what happened there, but I hope you guys can heal properly.
He was a Navy veteran, man. He died at 90 years old. That's a good life. I mean,
yeah, it is.
It was more of a celebration. It was more of a celebration than anything. But
that's awesome.
I'm praying for your boy Sosa.
God bless you, brother. Hey, that's shout out to him and serving our country. Serving our country. 90 years old.
Yeah.
Shout out to him.
Yeah, for sure, man. You got great callers, great show. I'll keep listening, man. But that was my opinion on it.
I appreciate you calling out.
He's gonna coward his way out by saying he didn't mean to do it.
Right.
Because that's his only shot, man. This guy's he's stuck. I mean, we can speculate all you want to, man, but this is the guy.
Oh, I speculate he's burnt up.
And allegedly, that's my opinion. That's my opinion. They're just, your DNA's there, the pings, You know, and I know they got more. They got so much more that we don't know about.
For sure. I
You
think
know what I'm saying? And I think that he's just gonna. I mean, if he's smart, and we know he's not, but I think his best way to save his own life, man, is to say he didn't mean to go in there and commit these crimes the way they happened. That way, it's not premeditated. But the stalking and all that's premeditated, no doubt. So,
yes, sir.
Anyway, man, thanks a lot for taking my call.
No doubt, brother. God bless you and your wife.
All right, bud.
Shout out to you. Thank you for calling and having a voice in the community. Lock your doors and stay safe, man. In this dangerous world we live in.
Always, brother. Have a good one.
You too, my man. Shout out to him. Shout out to him. I appreciate him calling in. 219-885-9693. You get through, you're on. What's up? If you get through, you're on. What is going on? Yeah, I see products blowing up. They're blowing up for real. I ain't seen them blow up like this in a while. 303, you're on with me. What's going on?
Hey, T-REV. I am calling in for the first time. I'm in chat as Sunflower Soul.
Sunflower. I see you. I see you in chat. What's going on? You got 7 minutes. The floor is yours. What's on your mind? What's your thoughts? Do you think they got the right guy? Do you think they don't? Where you at with it?
Well, I do think they have the right guy. I also agree that we do not know half the story. And, you know, I had said this from the beginning, the second they started planting themselves at the house, that this case was going to set a precedent for media, social media, and all of that. And I think it has. I think everybody keeps saying the case is crazy, right? The case is crazy because of what happened. And people think it's crazy and so confusing, in my opinion, because of theories that like YouTube channels have put out. And I'm not trying to call anybody out. Don't come for me. And you'll probably be able to guess. But like the way I feel is that if you take out the story, starting with the detectives working on the case, starting with the frats knowing things, starting with callers, and then steroids and drugs and cartel, if you take out everything that we've learned from channels that have unnamed sources or just footage and all of that, how much insanity really is there, in my opinion?
Right.
You know, because half of the story, I feel like it seems crazy because people have added so much into it, and these callers and people and inside sources. So if we took that out, how much really, how hard is it to believe that this is the guy and that the PCA is actually a pretty solid PCA?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just how I feel. And I think it's setting precedents in terms of the way channels are naming students and going after families and accusing kids of drugs and everything we've heard. And I don't know what's true, but I would never go.
I'm not meaning to cut you off either. I'm just want to tell you this because you just hit the nail on the head. I paused your time too while I'm saying this. I want to tell you this. You just hit the nail on the head. You know how many emails I get that say, hey, I'm so-and-so from so-and-so, and you can vet me this way, or you could vet me that way. And by the way, I know this, that, the third, and this person is involved. And, oh, yeah, this, and this, and this, and this. And then they, you know what I mean? They tell you all these things, and they say, you know, you can vet me here, and here's my phone number, but I really can't vet you because you're telling me you want me to believe all these different things, but you are saying, okay, I have a daughter. Her name is this. She goes to school here. Anybody can find anybody that goes to WSU and pin a name and not be verified. Somebody, you know, when somebody sees that, they automatically think, oh man, this is content. Let's create it. You know what I mean? So they don't even, not even vetted shit, to be honest with you.
No, I am right there with you. It's not vetted. And I felt that from the beginning. I mean, I can go on Google phone right now, Google Voice, and create a phone number that tells you I'm in Washington. And what does that mean? That means nothing.
Exactly.
It's and the fact that, like, I don't know, and Detective John, you can correct me on this, but I have been as a witness. I spoke about this in Discord. I've been on a grand jury. First of all, they are always secret. I've been a witness. They keep them secret. There's nothing hidden behind that. And with the whole, I called the FBI, I'm sorry, but you don't just call Quantico. If you tried to call Quantico, believe it or not, this is not Criminal Minds. You're going to be sent to the Idaho Bureau of Investigation.
Mm-hmm.
And correct me again if I'm wrong, Detective John, but I've had my own experience with being a witness in this where that's where they send you. You don't just call Quantico. You don't just get the Criminal Minds team. So that to me means nothing. And I'm sorry, but you can call as much as you want. They have to take and listen to you. It does not mean that what you're saying isn't a bunch of crap. And it does not mean you're speaking to Quantico. There's no direct line to Quantico, and there's no proof. I don't buy it. And I feel like these kids have been put through hell, and everybody wants to say that they're quiet because they're hiding stuff. Maybe they're quiet because they're trying to respect the families in their community. Maybe they're quiet because they're tired of being attacked and they don't want to fight fire with fire. I don't know. And I just feel like too many names and too many accusations against the victims and the community members. Yeah. Could people know? Could other people be involved? Sure. I don't know. I'm not going to pretend like I know, but I'm not also going to go on here and try to pretend like I know everything just to sell a couple of clicks on YouTube. And I don't know how YouTube's allowing it. I think it's disgusting. I think it's disrespectful to the families. And I think it's setting a horrible, horrible precedence, in my opinion, for victims, for families, for law enforcement. Nobody's perfect. And we don't know. The only thing we know for sure is that we don't know anything for sure. And it's not as the public, it's not our position to know it all for sure. And to sit here and act like we do, it's gone too far. And it to me is sad, and it's kind of disgusting, in my opinion. I find it to be just horrible to the families, and I understand why the gag order's there, and it should be there. Who the hell are we, you know?
That's interesting that you've been you said you were on a jury before for murder or what?
No, it was, and got involved with the FBI. It was like 20 years ago, and this is not like a Kim. My name isn't Kim. So I'm not making that up. But I was actually called into a grand jury like when I was 19 years old because somebody that I was friends with had been a part of a protest group. I don't even know. Should I be saying this? I don't know. It's years later. And with certain protests, you know, they can, the leader of the group had wound up doing things like in protest of the environment, but they were actually doing things that were harmful to, I don't know how much I should say or would say, but like for the sake of the environment, they were protesting against businesses, but they were causing damage. Mm-hmm. And because I had been friends with somebody who had been a part of it, they pulled me in as a grand jury witness. I didn't wind up having to testify because I was like, I don't really know anything other than, yeah, this person was a part of that activist group, but I don't know what they did. And everything was secret. I didn't even know what was going on. And then I got there and I realized, and it's been turned into, you know, just from that experience and from having to talk to the FBI, by the way, they didn't contact me to Quantico. It's just like, and I come from a law enforcement family. None of it makes any sense to me. And you're right with the vetting system. Because if you vetted it, you would know that none of it makes sense. You don't just call Quantico, and I can create a Google number. I can create rumors. It doesn't mean anything. It just means you're pulling more people under the mud. You're taking all of these other students and law enforcement, dragging them through the mud. Are they all perfect? Hell no, I'm sure. But do you have the right to do that, in my opinion? Absolutely not.
Yeah, vetting to me is, let me see some ID, let me see your name.
Mm-hmm.
That's vetting to me when you show me that. So I can't vet you through an email. I can't vet you telling me information about a case saying that Kaylee's heart was cut out and Xana's cut off and this, that, and the third, and you're saying this is 100% facts and 8 people are involved and the whole town knows. Mm-hmm. That's not vetting. And you giving me your daughter's first and last name, that's not vetting. I didn't talk to your daughter. I didn't see your ID. So, you know, when it comes to it, at the end of the day, like I was able to find out that it was bullshit. Let's just put it that way. But
it is, and it's still going. And now we've got Dave. And I'm sorry, but from the beginning, a couple of channels have been doing this left and right. And when one thing doesn't work, they go for another, then they go for another. And it's just gross to me. And these are real victims, real community members, real students that have to go on with their lives. And do I know what's going on or what happened? No. Do I think they have the right guy? Yeah. Could there be more? Possibly. I don't know. but to drag everybody through, like, who are you to do that? And I don't know how it's gone this far. And to the point where people are saying this grand jury was secret. That never happens. Actually, every grand jury is secret. And this was, or the sheath was planted. No. The person who wrote the PCA, if you look at the wording, the first detective on scene, we don't have those reports. So he's reporting what he discovered. So to say the first person didn't discover it, we don't know that. You know what I mean? Like, how did this all grow to what it is to now it's scripture to some people.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my opinion, and it's all in the PCA, and I pray for the families, for the students involved, and that the truth comes out. And I appreciate my Rev Gang fam. You guys are great, and the fact that you have respect and a belief in something higher that we're responsible for. Not everybody, of course, but that this stuff isn't right. So thank you.
Well, thank you for calling up and having a voice. And you said first time, correct?
Yeah, definitely. It's my first time. I'm in the Discord as Courtney, and I'm in the chat, and I'll come on panel because I'll be the first person to rip some of these YouTubers apart by name because nobody wants to. I'm in the chat all the time as Sunflower, so yeah.
Sunflower, I appreciate you having a voice and sharing your opinion with us, and you're more than welcome to come up on panel. So when I open it up, so just pay attention because I'll drop the link in Discord for people who want to come. I'm not dropping my link in YouTube chats no more. I don't. No, sorry, I'm not. When I drop in and have an open panel, it will be Discord people only, just for the simple fact that every time I drop the link in here, people come up with. People don't come up. I see these people come backstage and they literally have their private parts hanging out and all different types of weird shit.
Oh, Lord.
Outside of YouTube chat no more.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And that is the reason why. I appreciate you calling in, Sunflower. I'll talk to you soon. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you, and I appreciate your chat, and thank you guys, and God bless.
God bless you, man. Lock your doors.
Absolutely. You too. Bye-bye.
You know the deal. Shout out to her. 219-885-9693. Let's get it. I'm not dropping my shit in no YouTube chat no more. Not after that shit. There's way too many people swinging their private parts everywhere and all types of shit. What's going on? What's going on, pal?
Brother.
What's going on, pal? How you doing?
My brother. How you doing?
I love you, pal.
I love you, brother. I thought we were gonna do the panel right today.
Well, I mean, I took the vote and everybody voted against it, but it is what it is. We'll do it. Hey, look, dress up, take a shower, do your hair. We'll get it right. We're gonna do it next stream, 100%. I'm not going back on it.
All right. I'm not gonna waste my cologne today then, right? I'll put it on that.
Don't waste your cologne today.
Listen, pal, let me first of all, Grandma Patty, I love you. You are the best. I want to take your face, squeeze it in my hand, and kiss you on your forehead. You scared me when you said you had a bone to pick with me. That scared the shit out of me. But you turned out to be all right there, Grandma. And this last caller, right on, T. Right on. She's right on, this lady. I would love to be on a panel with her. But listen, let me explain. Let me explain something to you. I got on Discord because of you. All right? And I remember how you tried walking me through the instructions to do it because I'm a fucking idiot. I didn't understand how to do it, and you showed me the way.
Yes.
It was great. We were on Discord for these 4 kids. These 4 kids that were fucking massacred that night. They were fucking slaughtered. And we were there. Then all of a sudden, it became a fuck fest. Okay? All of a sudden, you had all these fucking people coming in, starting trouble, phonies. I don't know how to say it except to say fucking assholes that tried to fuck what we had, a beautiful thing up. and it's disgusting. It's disgusting the way they're doing it for clicks. They're doing it for fucking clicks. I swear, I cannot get over that. That is so disgusting to me. I can't. I mean, it's crazy. And they're doing it just to get the views. You know? Look, let's take you, for instance. What do you got? Like, what, 30, 40,000? 30, 40,000 people?
Yeah, 30,000, something like that.
That love you. That love you.
Mm-hmm.
Out of that 30,000, if you got 10, maybe 20 people that, okay, let's give it 100. Let's say you got 100 people that don't love you. Fuck them. Fuck them. You still got all those others that love you, care about you, your family, your dog. We care about you. I love you. I would never in a million years do anything to disgrace you, hurt you, be a traitor. I would never do that. I love you too much.
I love you, pal. Look, that's why I love you, because you know, you tell me it straight, whether I like it or not.
Yeah, and we always clicked. I always, from the first call, I felt like I had a bond with you.
Absolutely.
You know, I felt like, wow, I could relate to this guy. He's from the street. All right, he's younger than me, but I'm better looking than he is. You know.
Yeah, definitely, man. You got it. You know? Pop's always got to look better than the son, you know.
But yes, I loved you from day one, pal.
I know.
And I hate these fucking people that are doing it. And you know, I hope they're in here so I could tell them to their fucking face that they're scumbags. And it's despicable. It's fucked up what you're doing. I don't know how you guys sleep at night. It's fucking amazing to me. But 4 beautiful, beautiful, happy, intelligent, beautiful people were slaughtered. We're fucking slaughtered. Do you understand what a K-bar knife going through bone feels like? Are you fucking kidding me? I hope these pricks are in here, because I want to tell them how I feel. And that's it. That's it. I mean,
yeah, that's
disgusting.
I'll help you out, Just Jen. Just email me. I'll help you out. Just Jen, if you need help, I'll help you out personally. I know some people don't get it, but Papa Sal tracked me down when I was off YouTube for like 2 weeks. He tracked me down all the way to Twitter, and I walked him through it. It took a little bit, but I walked him through it and got him in there. If you need help, and that's for anybody that's in here that needs help getting in, all my members. If you need help, reach out. I will help you. I will send somebody to help you, or I will help you my damn self.
Yeah, he's great. He's great. I mean, if he helped me, anybody, he could help anybody. I'm not. I don't even know how to block anybody. Okay, I don't know anything. Technology with me is like another language. But he walked me through it. So anybody out there.
You know, pal, that showed me how much you cared that day. I was like a week. I was off YouTube. You said, "Man, is this the real T-REV? Where you at? Where you been? I missed you, pal. Where you been? I can't. I need my T-REV fix. I'm gonna go crazy if I don't see you a lot." I was like,
"Yeah."
Papa soundtrack all the way down to Twitter to the message, and he was like, "Man, is this really T-REV?" I was like, "Man, it is. It is."
Yeah, that was great. That was the happiest day for me, finding you and you helping me, putting me on Discord, talking to me, and making me sound like I'm not really a fucking idiot. You know what I mean?
You're not an idiot. You're smart. You know.
Well, the difference, I guess, between smart and wise. I always kind of felt, you know.
Say it. Come on.
I've been through the mill. I've been through a lot of things in my life. A lot of things. I can't even begin to tell you. But I know what it's all about. I got the street, you know, and that was my education. Growing up in Little Italy, in the Bronx. I'm older now, and I feel I'm much wiser, you know. So
your story created who you are, man. It made you, you know. You've learned. I know. I mean, we had some of these conversations, but I still got more than, you know, I still got to get to know you even more than I do now. You know?
Yeah.
We're going to have a cookout or something. We're going to have a get together. We're still planning it very precisely, but there will be a Rev Gang get together where we do get together and we all meet as one, especially the ones that always keep in touch, because there's a decent amount of us that keep in touch. And we've been talking about this trip for a while, but we're going to get it all squared away. And it's going to happen.
And remember, T, there's a lot of us that love you more than the people that don't. You're always going to get your fucking phonies and your snakes. You got to kind of ignore that, put them aside, because you got thousands and thousands of people that love you. Don't let these fucks win. Fuck them. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You got a handful of people that don't like you. So the fuck what? You know what I mean? So what? Ignore them. Ignore them. Fuck them.
You're right.
No, I preached enough.
Well, I mean, we'll be hearing from you soon because you're going to be up on panel with me, Delana, Hollis, and whoever else is, you know, join or listen. Whoever joins us, whoever decides to join us, we'll have us all up there. So I plan on doing that, like hopefully tomorrow. But I'll talk to you guys in Discord about it before we move.
Yeah, good. Yeah, I can't wait. That's going to be fun.
Because I don't want you to put your perfume on and get all dressed up for no reason, you know. You know?
Hey, you got a lot of pretty ladies here. I got in the panel, you know.
Everybody's beautiful in their own way, you know, pal.
Yes.
I love you, man. I appreciate you. I always appreciate you being you and speaking the way you speak. Some people complain about the way that you talk, this, that, and the third. I don't give a fuck. I want everybody to be themselves, and that's that.
I remember asking you, you know, hey T, I'm getting some bad feedback from Skittles or whoever was giving me shit, you know, and it was because of the way I talked. And you turned around and said, Sal, just be you. Just be you. And that was it. That's all I had to hear.
And that's what I want. I just want you to be you. And that goes for anybody that's in here that calls. Be you. Be you. It doesn't matter. Just be yourself. You don't got to act a certain way to be liked in this community in general. You don't got to act any way. If you even thought Kohlberger wasn't the guy, I'd still love Papa Sal because I love Papa Sal. As long as you weren't creating these weak fucking narratives in chat and all that other shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like when people are themselves, and that's that. I love you, pal. I appreciate you calling in. And
I love you too, brother. I love you too.
I'll be talking to you soon.
Okay.
Lock your door and keep it cocked and pot and ready to rock.
Got it, brother. All right.
Love you, Papa.
Bye-bye.
So, you know, you had to give him a little bit of time. He's been dying to talk. 219-885-9693. Let me see. Bing bong. 646, you're in the mix. What's going on?
Hey, T-REV, it's Hollis.
Hollis in the building. What's going on, Hollis?
I have a question. Okay, you remember the footage of the Taco Bell bag? Am I mistaken? Wasn't there footage of the Taco Bell bag outside of the front of the house, the front door? And then wasn't there also that same bag that we saw on the kitchen counter, a Taco Bell bag? Like, how did it move?
I don't remember. I don't remember no.
Does that make sense?
Was there a Taco Bell bag? Am I out of the mix?
I don't know. I think
I'm out of the mix.
bothering me. It's been bothering me, and there's way too much footage for me to go back and find it.
Yeah,
I was just wondering if somebody remembered ever seeing a Taco Bell bag outside of the house, or like almost as if they had moved it out there on accident, and then like maybe law enforcement. But then there was also one on the kitchen counter, or was the one on the kitchen counter a different fast food bag?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just confused with all those. Like,
mm-hmm.
I think I saw it both ways, and I don't remember what's what. But anyway, besides the Taco Bell bag that's bothering me, when you see the footage of the woman who's taking the swabs and bending down on the ground in the kitchen,
Mm-hmm.
right? Okay, would it make sense if Koberger brought his shower curtain with him, right? And when he walked in, put it down on the kitchen counter, did whatever he did, right? Then put that shower curtain, flipped it open, and then stood there in the kitchen and disrobed and put everything in his shower curtain and gathered it all up and went out the door. And that's why there's no blood trail. That's why his shower curtain's missing. And maybe that's why they're swabbing like stuff in the kitchen, like on the ground.
Could be, yeah, because you can see through that window they're swabbing on the ground. So I'm thinking there's like blood droplets or something there, and that's just me speculating.
Yeah, there's something going on in that kitchen, and I can't help but think like if he had those Dickies he was wearing in his gloves and everything. I mean, the way that the attacks went down, he obviously, was covered head to toe, which baffles me about the footprints in the house. Maybe they're not telling us everything, but something tells me he used the kitchen as his sort of like unrobing himself of all of that bloody material and putting it and wrapping it up in his plastic shower curtain so that when he got in his car, he's not going to mess his car up. And does that make sense?
Yeah, for
from
sure.
a criminal point of view.
If that's the way it was done, I mean, it makes sense, but
I mean, a lot of people are saying they think a body's there, and I don't know if a body is there or not. I'm just thinking
of a body there. I don't think there's a body there.
I don't either. I think they've made it pretty clear that, Xana and Ethan were together in one area and Kaylee and Maddie were in another area. And I just can't help but think that maybe that kitchen has a lot of why he doesn't have, why there's not a blood trail and why his shower curtain might be missing.
Mm-hmm.
And why maybe his car isn't completely full of what would look like, after somebody maybe had just committed such a crime. Because maybe it was all wadded up and he just took that and burned that away somewhere.
Jack in the Box, right? I see a lot of people saying,
yeah, it's those darn Jack in the Box bags that bother me.
You were thinking
it's
Taco Bell because fast food. I get why you said Taco Bell now. Because it's fast food. I get it. Jack in the Box. So that's the bag you were talking about.
Yeah, the Jack in the Box. What did I say?
You said Taco Bell.
I did. I'm sorry. I did.
No, there's so many different things in this case that happens.
I love Taco Bell and I hate Jack in the Box.
Right. Yeah, Taco Bell. I mean, come on. Taco Bell.
I have Taco Bell in the brain all the time. No, it was the fast food bag. That's what bothered me. Or were there two bags delivered? I don't know. I can't figure out by the footage on videos that I see what bag is where, when and where, and at what time.
Yeah, so it's a Jack in the. I'm not sure exactly times and all that. Maybe our librarian has that information.
Yeah, so if like anybody has or remembers anything like that in chat, just like kind of throw it up there if you ever see it within, the next week or so, because I want to go back and look at that kind of footage and see which is what, because that confuses me. But that was making me think that's why his shower curtain was missing. All of a sudden I went, bing bong, if you lay out your plastic shower curtain and throw all your darn dirty clothes in there and wrap it up and walk away naked, you're not having a blood trail and you just kept your car clean.
Man.
Because that's how OCD people think, and I have OCD.
So wrap. You think like a word as like a cape or wrapped it around his body or something, and with the loops?
No, T. Listen.
I'm trying to think what you're thinking here. I mean, put me
Okay, follow me here.
Mm-hmm.
He probably undid his shower curtain, right? If you fold it up enough, you can put it in the back pocket of a dickie.
Okay, I get what you're saying now.
Like a garbage bag, so to speak. But a shower curtain is so much better if you think about it. And why didn't he have a shower curtain in his apartment? That's weird. So anyway, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, now I do, for sure.
So he kind of used that as kind of like his laundry basket. And it's easy to collect all four edges. It's plastic. It's not going to leak. It's a great way to keep it all contained. And then that, to me, that makes sense about his shower curtain missing, his car not being so, full of blood, however you want to put it, and no real blood trail being seen. Right?
Now I'm seeing what you're saying, and that's
right.
Crazy to even think of, but it's possible as hell.
I know. Well, exactly. Now, the other question I have, at the very beginning they had the sliding glass door, and we all saw that it's horrific, that handprint like on that glass door. You know what I mean? That handprint.
The one that's on the window?
No, on the sliding glass door.
I remember seeing that. I'm just so focused on the one that's always talked about, which is on the window. That's actually in this clip.
Is that on the window?
Yes, that's on a window.
Oh, see, I thought that was on the sliding glass door.
No, it's on it's on a sliding window.
Yeah, that's what I mean, like the sliding glass door window part.
Yeah, it's right there. I'm pretty sure it's right by the Good Vibes. Like if you look in that window, it's on that same window, I believe. And I could see a print right there too.
Right. That is so super creepy. Like they don't ever have like anything. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure they had to have taken that print, right?
Oh yeah.
They would have taken that print off of that window.
There it is right here. I got it right here on the screen right now. You can see it right here I'm circling it with my mouse. This handprint.
It's such a weird, creepy thing to see there. But I don't know if that was from him or from just, other people previous to this incident. I've always wondered about that one handprint on the sliding glass door.
Yep, me too. I've actually screenshotted it and looked at it in several different angles.
Yeah, because it's creepy. I mean, to me, it looks like a guy's hand because it's big, but, that's just me.
It does. I mean, if you look at it, look at from here, just on a screen, it looks like it's definitely pretty big. It's visible enough to be seen.
Right. I mean, that's one of the first things I noticed because it creeped me out so much. But, I think a lot of people are forgetting. I remember at the beginning that they did a whole story. There were stories about Koberger, who in high school, I remember he's overweight. He had like that weight loss treatment surgery. And then they showed how he sort of like stalked this cheerleader girl who was blonde that he had a crush on.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember all of that?
Yes, I do remember hearing that.
Well, she does look just like Maddie, right?
Yeah, and a lot of people have brought it to my attention with that. And then his ex that kind of looked like Xana. So
that looked like Xana. Exactly. So, there's just so much now that looking back, hindsight is 20/20 from what was released at the very beginning and not knowing who a suspect was. And then now we know who it is, or allegedly.
Right.
And then looking back now at all these other, all these kind of little things that are now adding up and kind of making sense. It's just, you know, too much. But I'm with Papa Sal. I just feel I can't even wrap my brain around what these girls went through. It's just too horrific to think about.
Yes, come on, this is heartbreaking. I mean, we've went from speculating to completely crying together on stream in here. I mean, just on how heartbreaking this whole situation is, and that's why I had to veer away from all this crazy off the wall speculation theories that people are still. I think people are stuck in the speculation phase of things and aren't
I think they are too.
They're not at ease with somebody being captured, and it's something that they fantasize about in their mind of there being all these different characters involved with the case. And I mean, where does the evidence point? That's what it comes down to in a murder. And if you're a fan of true crime, you know that.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything's not a conspiracy. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, what breaks my heart is that woman who, you know, she did play a huge part in raising Zaina because Zaina's mom was absent. There's a lot of us women who know what that's like. We know we are those women. And to hear her, you know, it was just breaking her heart. And I can see where she's coming from. I mean, every time I try to find something new on the case, all I see is thumbnails about drugs, or I see Zaina's name. The two coincide, and I can't find anything else. And I'm just like, are y'all really serious? Like, and besides that, what does it even matter? Like, it's not part of the case. You have 4 kids who, I mean, they're barely learned how to drive their cars. You know, these are really, really young lives. And you have a psychopath who was the boogeyman that night. And I don't get where all these people are getting all these weird, like, huge conspiracy theories. These kids aren't even that smart to figure out a conspiracy. You know, all they want to do is, you know, plug into their Instagram and take the picture of where they're having fun. Like, I don't get what, and, you know, I can't even, don't even get me started, T.
I mean, we're gonna have that open panel, and I'm gonna get you started.
Ooh, don't even get me started.
Yes, get right.
I could go off on some of these.
I hope you're open tomorrow, so we can.
Oh, I'm totally open. I'm totally open.
We'll be probably more
totally
towards,
open.
You know, 12 p.m. my time, between 12 and at least 6. Between that time frame, I know that's a large little 6-hour gap, but
no, that's my time frame too.
That's what I'm aiming for. Too. That's what I'm aiming for. So. I'm gonna get some more people to call in because it's been.
Yeah, go ahead. But yeah, it's not the Taco Bell bag, but
Jack in the Box.
Jack in the Box bag. I need to see footage of Jack in the Box. Where are those bags all left during the very beginning of all this stuff? I want to see if it got moved. That's what I'm trying to figure out. All right. See you, T-REV. Have fun.
God bless
you.
All
right. Bye.
Lock your damn doors.
I will. Bye.
Shout out to Holly. We gotta love her. Shout out to Hollis, 219-885-9693. Make sure you call in. What's up? Do Not Disturb is now off, and the next person can call in. Let's hear it. 785, you're live. What's going on?
Hey, T-REV, it's Jen from Kansas. How are you?
I'm good. How about yourself, Jen?
I'm doing pretty good. I lost my voice on Memorial Weekend, but, you know.
It's okay.
It ain't easy being me. It's not, right? I was just listening to Hollis on, and I am just Jen on your chat.
Okay, just Jen. And I think you said you need help with the Discord. I can help you with that.
I just don't understand what the purpose is, I guess, but we don't have to talk about that right now. I just had a question, and I'll be real quick. Hollis was talking about a handprint on a window.
Yes.
Okay. Do you really think there'd be a handprint on a window when the dude wears gloves for everything?
Bing bong. There we go.
Bing bong.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good
actually
point.
Yeah, because I mean, excuse me. I mean, that's I don't know. I just wanted to ask that because I thought, well, he would have gloves on, wouldn't he? It's not like OJ and they'd be all shrunk up and couldn't get them on. But yeah, that was all I really was going to say.
That's a good point. He had gloves on, taking the trash out, etc. Do we think that he would wear gloves into this crime scene? Absolutely.
He had gloves on in his parents' house.
Yep.
You know, it makes no sense that he wouldn't have some kind of glove on in the murder scene. He's that smart, at least.
Agreed, 100%.
Unfortunately. Yeah. Okay, well, I'm not going to take any time. I'm just listening today. And I hope you guys have a good tomorrow. I have to go to town, so I can't listen. But I'll have to get on that Discord. I've been on Discord before and asked Papa Sal for some help, and he's like, "Oh, I don't even know what I'm doing." So,
well, I can run you through all that easily.
Yeah, I just want to know what the purpose is, because I'm a fairly intelligent person, but I just don't understand the purpose. So, I'm not a gamer, I'll tell you that much.
Well, I'll tell you this much: it ain't gaming.
Well, okay. I don't know. I was on there one day and somebody tagged me or something. I was like, "What?"
I got you. Yeah, no, a lot of people don't understand it, and I get it.
Yeah.
There's
Because
a
if
lot
I
going
understood
on.
it, if I understood it, I'd probably want to get on there and join in.
Well, I could walk you through it very easily, and we could have this. If you want to hit me up or email me or anything, I could easily explain
That's
it.
fine. There were several people in chat just a little while ago when I mentioned that asked the same thing. So maybe you had to have a group.
No doubt, we can have a group training. I mean, it's very easy.
Yeah.
It's very easy. I can
help
guide
a
you.
lot of us.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely, and I appreciate you bringing that to my attention too, because that's something that I will show you guys, and it's very easy once you get a hold of it.
All righty. Well, I'm going to let you go now. I'm sure there's a lot of people who want to talk, and Brian's still our guy. I haven't given up on that. I will not ever give up on that. And you lock your doors at night.
Yes, ma'am. You too. Thank you so much.
All right. You take care, T-REV.
You too, ma'am. God bless you. Lock your
Bye-bye.
doors. Stay safe. Shout out to her. Shout out to her. Hold up 1 second. Round of applause for Just Jane. Shout out to her. Shout out to her. Hold up 1 second. Let's bang it open again. Boom. 219-885-9693. Let's hear from you. Let's hear from you. 973. What's going on? You're live.
Hey, T, how are you?
Hey, White Truck.
White Truck, yes.
It's White Truck on the line. How you doing? It's a long time no more.
Good. Yes, how are you? Everything okay?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty fine. I can't complain,
Prayers for Sosa.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, so you're welcome. But anyway, I just wanted to say, if you remember from the very beginning, T, when I first started talking to you, what did I always say? I said that something happened, these kids weren't drug dealers and all that crap. I don't believe that. I always said from the beginning, I think they either pissed him off or didn't pay attention to him or maybe laughed, and that's what triggered this psycho because he wanted one of them. And I always said it was like, the way that the poor things that they died, I mean, it was horrible. So to me, it was like, like a crime of passion, like he had to kill them. Listen, we've all done that when we were younger. I'm going to be 55 years old, okay? When I was younger, I remember, and it's terrible to say, but if a guy came up to you, if you were in a club and he was like a little strange or something, what would a girl do? You'd make a face at your friend and you'd run the other way. You know what I mean? We've all done that. And I know the girls in here, some of you are going to say, no, I never did that. We all done that. We've laughed or we've just did something stupid, And I think this psycho was just so triggered on one of them and something went down and this was his revenge because the way he killed those poor souls, And I've been saying this to you from the beginning. I don't know if you remember, and I think everybody with the drug thing, that's stupid. These kids weren't dealing drugs. I really don't think they were.
Yeah, I mean, did you hear the phone call from somebody who was a mother figure to Xana?
Yes. When she said she would do her hair and her makeup, and yes, I did.
And
that
she
was
spoke
touching.
about, them just going to dispensaries in Washington, etc. I mean, come on, like if you want to label that drug dealing, because there's no evidence of them being drug dealers.
Right.
Zero.
Exactly. Right.
If you show me a text message, if you're able to show me some text messages of some people hitting them up like, yo, can you get me a gram of some coke, or if you can show me some shit like that, then I might start believing you. But there's nothing that points to that right now, and it hasn't been, and it's just a theory that's out there. And if you want to believe that, then you're gullible, in my opinion.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I mean? And that's just my opinion on it. You may think different about me, and I respect it.
No, I agree with you, 100%. These kids did nothing. He was out to get them for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
I've been saying that from day one. This was like in his sick mind. Like I said, maybe they might have laughed at him or just did something stupid that triggered him, and he was stalking them, of course, or stalking one of them. We don't know, and I don't know if we'll ever find out, because I don't think he's ever going to say what he did and why he did it.
I don't think we're ever going to hear that either. I mean, let's be honest here. I mean, people do confess and admit why they do things, but not very often.
The only thing I was thinking he's going to pull, like when he didn't say he was guilty, I think he did that so he can, like, if he gets like the electric chair or whatever they want to do to this sick bastard firing squad, which I'll sign up for, I think he did that so he can, like, cop a plea later and be like, okay, I'll tell you what I did and how it happened, and just don't kill me. Don't give me the electric chair or the firing squad. I think that's why he did that little weasel.
That little weasel.
Yeah, I would like to say a lot worse, but I'll try to control myself.
I mean, it is what it is, and you obviously looked at all the documents.
Yep.
In this case, and like I said, people will make it complicated, but it's up. I try to tell everybody, gather your own opinion by looking at shit. Don't get swayed by my channel or anybody else just in general in the world. Don't get swayed by anybody. Look at everything for yourself and decide for yourself. If you don't believe he's a killer, I respect that 100%. But my thing is creating new suspects when I just don't, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just can't ride with that creating new suspect shit when there's somebody in jail, there's DNA. I don't give a fuck if it's a skin cell, a toenail, or what, at this point, to be honest with you, because evidence is going to back the shit up. If there's somebody's knife, if they got killed with a knife and there's a knife sheath at the scene with somebody's DNA on it, I'm expecting some other evidence to follow up and show that, hey, and pinpoint him at this location. And I think there's going to be that. So I'm just waiting and following along with what I've seen in paper, not what I've seen through media, not what I see through channels. I'm following the information provided by law enforcement. Just like with all these other cases, I'm sure there's people that we believe or know killed other people. Why is it so hard to believe that they got this guy? I just don't understand it, why it's so hard for some people. But hey, that's high profile cases and celebrity murders or, deaths or suicides. People throw conspiracies with it, and it's always with a high profile case or a celebrity.
It's sickening. It's really sickening because this mother humper did this. I hate him with every I can't. I hate him so much. Like you said, you wake up, you eat, sleep, and shit this case, and that's me. Because I want to see him, like, I wish they would give him, like, the firing squad, because I'd be the first person there to take him out. I can't. I hate him. I hate him so much. I have so much hate in me for him that it's like, ugh, I can't. I can't take it. I can't stand his face. I hate everything about him. Okay, I feel better now that I vented that. But anyway, that's just what it is. And don't forget me when you do our get together, please, because I'm coming.
Okay. No, I'm not forgetting nobody. It's I want it to be at least 150 of us at one big get together, like a I don't know. I got to find the right location that'll be able to hold us all, but
Yep. We
it'll
have
be a
to
big
do
get
that.
together, and that's definitely hand picked too.
Sounds good. And don't forget, if you ever come back to Jersey, come over for dinner.
Oh, definitely. Shout out to you and your husband. I appreciate you calling in. No, you're the one that has the husband, and you were talking about the white truck with you and your husband in the back. I remember that shit. I won't ever forget it because I was over here going crazy looking for the right. Remember we had the food truck footage up, and then we had the. What did you say to Adam?
The white truck. I swore I seen that in the beginning, that the white truck drove past the food truck, and it drove me crazy. And I could have sworn, and then you kept running the footage, and we couldn't find it. But I swear to God, I remember that. But white truck's over with. We were looking for a white Elantra, but T, I don't know.
No doubt. Well, I appreciate you calling in and sharing your thoughts, and
No problem.
as always, having confidence.
Yeah, and you saw my little post that I wrote to you before. We love you more than you know, kid, and don't forget that.
Yes, I did see that.
Okay.
I appreciate all of you, and I love you guys back, and that's why I pressed the live button. I haven't been this consistent in a long, just in general on YouTube as far as going live. I know I take breaks here and there, but I do have a second channel, and I do go live over there also. I do different shit, of course, but
Right. No, I know. I'm on the other one when you do the spirit box, right? But is there
Yep.
another one besides that?
No. It's just that when I do a lot of stuff over there. I mean, I'll do some gaming or spirit box or whatever. I do a lot of different stuff. It's more of like my freestyle channel or where I do a lot of different shit rather than just phone calls.
I go on Discord, T, but I'm not good at it. But I do go in there and write some stuff.
Well, if you need training, I got you.
All right, we'll figure it out. I'm getting a little better. Like, I talked to some of the girls in there. They're so sweet. So I was trying to reach you last week. There was a guy missing from Jersey.
Oh,
I don't know
no.
if you saw him. Yeah, if you saw him, I sent you an email. He was missing for almost 2 weeks, but they found him deceased. He died.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Murder?
They haven't really said yet, but I don't think so. I don't think so.
I did not see that email.
Yeah, I sent you an email because I was like, hey, T, can we kind of do, because the parents were begging for social media help, and, I sent you an email, and I said, I know you were going through a lot with Sosa, so I was just like, I'm going to leave it alone, but
I totally missed it. I would love to look. I'm going to have to go look at it anyways because now I'm going to be curious.
Yeah, I sent it to you.
I'm going to look. And this was, you sent it. Do you know what day you sent it?
Oh, God. It was last week, I think maybe Monday or Tuesday, and one of the girls in there, I can't remember her name, she was sweet. She goes, I'll try and make sure that he sees this.
Well,
she did. You know what? See, she posted in Discord under missing persons.
Okay. I'm going to look at it. I didn't even see it. See, there's so many tabs in Discord that I miss a bunch of stuff. It's wild.
Yeah. Well, you'll see it. He was a mail carrier from down in Cape May, New Jersey.
Wow.
And you could read the story. I think maybe he was upset about something and it just went a different way,
Yes, man. I'm gonna definitely take a look at it because I didn't even see or hear about it.
You're going through a lot with your dog, and I am too. My dog is in kidney failure, and my heart's broke, but
I hate to hear that.
Yeah, we got to go through it, T.
I love my dogs. All dogs.
I know.
They're family.
Oh, yeah. I don't have children, so, these two dogs are my children, and unfortunately, she's not doing well, but I'll keep her comfortable and everything until that time comes.
Well, thank you for calling and sharing, and I'm gonna definitely look at that email because now I'm curious. You said a mail carrier. He was I gotta see what's going on there. That something doesn't sound right.
Yeah, read the like I said, she put it in Discord under missing person, Cape May County. He was from down that way.
Well, thank you for sharing. I'm gonna look at it and I'm gonna let you know what I think when I look at it because I want to see what it's about.
All right, T. I love you, and I'll talk to you soon.
I love you back. Thank you. Thank you for having a voice in the community as always, and thank you for having the courage to actually call in.
No problem. Talk to you soon, T.
Talk to you soon. God bless you. Shout out to her. Make sure you lock your doors too. Shout out to her for sure. I see Gregory in the chat, Julia, Jeff, Nacho Girl, Sacred Teachings. Shout out to all you. I see your message. I see your comments and all that. Let's see. Small Town Girl, the Pew Pew Squad would be too easy. Something that takes longer, or like torture or something. Is that what you mean? Shout out to everybody in the building. Now, hold up. Regina says not only did he do it, but he what? Damn, she's using them big ABCGG. Yeah, I see. All right. You don't feel that Stephen Avery was guilty, so please stop saying if you haven't heard it from law enforcement, it's not true. You don't feel that Stephen Avery was guilty, so please stop saying if you haven't heard it from law enforcement, it's not true. If you haven't heard it from law enforcement, it's not true. That's just the way I feel. But I respect that you respectfully disagree. My mom was on drugs my entire life. Yes, heroin, pills, whatever. That doesn't make me a drug dealer. My mom is dead now. I'm sorry to hear that, Doozy. Shout out to you, Gregory. I see you. Shout out to Gregory. 219-885-9693. I'm just trying to read some comments before I take another call. Hey, fam, we need to get those likes up. Please be kind and show your love. It's free to hit the like. But you're right. Thank you, Maldi Mama, for always being here and showing love and all my mods that do great work. I appreciate all of you and I love you all. 479, what's going on? Is this my man Robert? What's going on?
Hey, T-REV, how you doing today, bud?
I'm doing great, brother. I'm glad to hear you.
All right, thanks. Hey, I think it was Hollis that was talking about them picking up, looks like they were picking up blood splatter or whatever on the kitchen. They were bending over.
Yeah.
There was blood in the kitchen. It was dripping through the ceiling down the cupboards. So there's video of it.
Yeah.
Of blood dripping down the cupboards onto the kitchen floor. Hey, I got a question for you. Maybe you covered it when I was absent. There was a word of some dude. He said he saw Brian Kohlberger in the Banfield the next morning, dressed in black. Was that bullshit?
Say it again about the dressed in black.
Some dude was saying that he was one of the guys that was stopped by the cops that night, and he tossed whatever he tossed. Went back the next morning to find it and seen Brian Kohlberger, a dude that resembled Brian Kohlberger, sitting in a Banfield, looking at the house, dressed in black. Now, was his story bullshit? You know?
I mean, I haven't seen it verified. You know,
neither have I just figured, somebody would have called him bullshit. I mean, because it's just, if it were true and if it were, Brian, then that kind of throws away, everybody's idea of him changing clothes or taking a shower or whatever, in the house. I mean, there just wasn't time for him to, do all four and then stop to change clothes, in my opinion. I mean, otherwise he'd have been tired just from running up and down the fucking stairs.
I call it bullshit in case somebody can verify it 100%,
Yep. It's just, I didn't get a chance to say this last time I called, but it's a good thing I'm not a judge in this case, because when I ask you, you guilty or not guilty, and you stay silent, I'm gonna look at you and say, look, dude, I'm grand jury. I ain't Judge Judy, motherfucker. This is grand jury bullshit. I've got enough evidence here to say you're guilty, and that's just what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna say that you're guilty, fucking non-guilty bullshit, and watch his lawyer stand up. But Your Honor, no. Sit the fuck down. You had your chance to fucking plead. You stayed quiet. The evidence is before me now. I say he's guilty, and I'm going to sentence your ass to death right fucking now. So fuck both y'all. So it's a good thing I'm not running the goddamn country. That's where I'm at with it.
I'm dead. Robert, man, I wouldn't want to be under your hammer.
Well, dude, I'm not going to fucking put up with no stupid shit from some fucking stupid motherfucker like that. And I almost threw up today, dude. I mean, listening to, the show that you had on, I can't remember her name right offhand.
Nancy?
Yeah, listen to Nancy and that other lady talking about masturbation shit, and with the picture of Brian Kohlberger and him masturbating. I wanted to throw. I do not need to put images like that in my fucking head. So,
Yeah, no doubt.
Don't talk about that motherfucker jerking off over fucking pictures. Goddamn, that's sick. That's as sick as the shit he did. But anyway, that's where I was at, dude. I just wanted to voice my opinion on, if I were judge, I just would have said, fuck you, dude. I've got enough evidence here. This is grand jury bullshit. This ain't civil court. This is grand jury bullshit. I'm a bigger goddamn judge than everybody, and I'll just throw your ass in fucking jail till the death sentence comes around. That's how I feel about it. That's how I feel about it. You can say not guilty all you want, but dude, there's so much evidence out there, I'm sure. Otherwise, the grand jury wouldn't be involved. I don't know. What do I know? What?
This that gag order just keeps the speculation roaming.
Yeah.
I think even if everything did become available to everybody's hands today, like evidence wise, what they have against them, there's still going to be a group of people that are collecting things, are going to have their own opinions, and that's just that's the world.
Yeah. I mean, but damn, dude, if they dropped all that evidence, if they dropped all the evidence on him that they had, we'd probably, I don't know, dude. I mean, it would be months and months and months of us going on T-REV talking about it. Well, what about this page here? I mean, page for page. I mean, Jesus. Look at this video here. What do you see? Oh, man. We couldn't handle it. Everybody would just kind of shut down for like 3 weeks and just, to absorb everything that they read. There's so much evidence. I would like to think that they've got more than, a stupid fucking sheep and, a shoe print. And,
do you still speculate if any of the what the roommates were going, what was going on with the roommates during that time period, especially being one came face to face with the killer allegedly?
Well, I thought that both of them did. I thought Dylan seen him through the door, and I thought that fuck, man, with the other girl downstairs, I thought she saw him at the top of the stairs.
Yeah,
You're right or wrong?
I remember it just being Dylan that came face to face with him allegedly through her door or whatever, but it just that's the part that just gets to me the most is the coming face to face. But I mean, if you don't know what transpired on the other side of those doors, or on the other side of the door, not doors, then I mean, can I fault you? But then again, if say I open my door right now and I see a masked man walk right by me and I shut the door and lock it and grab my gun and get on the phone and start, I'm gonna get on the phone and call police with my gun in my hand, loaded. I always got my pistol here. But if I open my door and see a masked man walk by me, I mean, I'm taking action.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so much, that there's just so much. I mean, it's simple stuff like, well, maybe she knew somebody ordered food and she just thought the dude was bringing the food inside. It's cold. Dude's dressed up. He's overkill. Maybe he doesn't have heat in his car. Who knows what was going through her mind? Who knows? Other than the fact that not 911, that wasn't going through her mind. But yeah, dude. I mean, like I told you, Rev, this whole case has been kind of a clusterfuck, dude. From the very beginning, I mean, everything is just what the fuck,
From day one. I mean, when they took the first presser that they had, and it seemed like, at first I wasn't really, I don't know, I started critiquing Fry a lot at first. The head, because it just seemed like the smirk and, oh, there's no threat in the public. Well, I really want to know why they thought there was no threat in the public at the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I really want to know the answer to that. I want to know why. Why would you tell the you're not in danger? That's another thing that bothers me still to this day. And maybe there's a certain reason that he said that the public's not in danger. Maybe, because if you think about it, what was it? November 29th, they got a tip in about Brian Kohlberger, but they didn't know that he was the guy at that time, but they had his name in there because of the WSU security guard, correct?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I always revisit when Fry came out and said, well, there's no threat to the public. And that part right there bothered me, and it still does. And like I said, with the PCA, Dylan coming face to face with him, and then that the phase, from that time frame of the police not being called. Because where I come from, or just in general, if somebody comes face to face with a masked man in their house, they usually pick up the phone and call the police, and that's just the only part that bothers me. Both.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's pretty much what people do, So why wasn't it done then? We don't know. I mean, I'd like to just go hang out with her, buy her a couple of margaritas or something, and say, hey, by the way, how come you didn't call? I mean, what was the fucking game plan there anyway? Tell me how that fucking movie ended quick, will you? And see what she says, but that'll never happen. But anyway, dude, I just thanks again for letting me come up here, and thanks for taking my call. Let me get up here and speak my mind about this case again.
Absolutely, Robert. Absolutely. I look forward to hearing from you again as usual.
I appreciate it, T-REV.
I appreciate you, Robert. God bless you too, your pup, and I hope you have a wonderful summer. I know I'll be hearing from you, but God bless you, brother. I hope you stay safe out here and stay vigilant. Lock your doors, protect yourself, and be vigilant.
All right, man. I appreciate it. Thank you, T-REV. Love you.
Love you back, Robert. God bless you, brother. Shout out to Robert for calling in. Always a good phone call. Bing bong. All right. Shout out to Robert for calling in. I appreciate it. Robert's been a caller for a long time. He's been calling in for a while. He speaks his mind. Shout out to him. Let's see. She wasn't sleeping. So you guys think she wasn't sleeping? He's just a nasty boy. I will be watching trial minute to minute. He ain't lying about that. I don't know. I don't fuck with unknown callers. I'm sorry. I just don't. Last time I had an unknown caller, they were screaming the N-word over and over again. So that's out the window. I'm sorry. Can't do it. Make a fake number or something. I'm not answering no unknown caller. Like I said, last time I answered an unknown caller, they were yelling the N-word over and over again with the hard ER. Not today, Jose. Let's see. Hold on. I don't think they were in Charlotte. Realize. 603, you're on with me. What's going on?
What's going on, T-REV?
How you doing?
How you been?
I'm hanging in there. How about yourself?
I haven't talked to you in a hot minute. How is your Sosa doing?
He's doing good. Annie? Is this Annie? Hold on. That sounds
yes,
great.
sir. Yes, sir. It's Annie Potts.
Nice hearing from you, Annie. How you been? He's doing good. He's recovered well. He's healed pretty good. He's resting now because I just gave him his medicine. But
dude, the other day when you were doing your paranormal thing, I think it was a replay, but I thought you were live. And we were all in the comments like, he's scratching his head. He's scratching his head.
yeah. Oh, yeah. You're talking about the one from November 25th.
Yeah, I thought it. I didn't realize it was like a replay. I thought you were actually live. And we were all in the chat like, dude, the dog is scratching his head. Oh, no.
Oh my God. Yeah, this was a while. That was November 25th to the date. I just removed, I took it from this channel and posted it over there for, I got a couple more that I got to put over there too, but yeah,
I haven't been able to catch one of your lives in a while. And I was like, oh shit, he's live. And then I'm like, oh no, the dog.
Yeah, I got to go to a cancer specialist and get whatever else, because they said during the when they removed whatever was in his head, which was some type of mask, they removed it, but they couldn't get to one because it was close to his eyes and ears, so it would potentially make him blind if they they didn't want to do it because it could potentially make him blind. So I was like, thank you for not doing that, but at the same time, like, why did we cut him open if we could have just nipped it all in the butt at the cancer specialist?
Right.
So that bothered me.
Yeah, well, on a totally different topic, when it comes to that kind of stuff, I lost my mom to pancreatic cancer a few years ago. And I know with her, they ended up doing surgery. And the same thing happened with her. So they were able to get like most of the cancer cells. But there were some that were left on like a main artery. So they couldn't get to those because they didn't want to like hit an artery or anything like that. It extended her life. She still got like another 3 years before it came back like really aggressively, and she was gone pretty quick after that. But I know it happens with people too, where depending where the cancer is, they don't like to go in and take it all out if it, could cause more complications.
I hate that friggin' C word, and I'm sorry you lost your mom to that. That's on an artery. They probably didn't want a chance cutting it open and her bleeding to death, Like that's
right.
That's
yeah,
so
and she had to do chemo and radiation like 5 days a week. I had to bring her back and forth for her chemo and her radiation and everything. But it is what it is, unfortunately. But I hope that they're able to fix your boy right up for you and give him, even if they can extend his life by another 5, 6, 7 years, that would be great.
Exactly, and that's why I'm willing to do whatever I gotta do. I don't care what it takes. He's gonna get his treatment no matter what I have to do. So,
do you have like a GoFundMe or anything set up? I would love to donate if you do.
I mean, people go through chat or whatever. I like Cash App or PayPal. I let people do it on their own. I don't want to say, "Hey, everybody, help me out. I need money." Like, you know what I mean? I hate putting it.
No.
I don't like to be that way. That's not. I just not.
Oh yeah, no, I wouldn't even take it nothing like that. Cancer treatment for animals is very, very expensive. Even if you had a GoFundMe, I wouldn't knock you for having one because that shit is crazy expensive.
I don't know. Making a GoFundMe for me is like going against my morals.
Right.
Like honestly, it's like me it's like somebody just holding their hand out, begging him for money, and I don't want to be that way. I want to be able to say, "Hey, I'm an adult. I can figure this out." If people want to help, they know which way they can help because I have all my stuff posted on my YouTube, so I don't really need to speak and say, "Hey," you know what I mean? I just don't like people for shit. It just feels wrong. Where I come from, I had to grind from out the mud. So if somebody wants to help, I will let them make that decision to help because like I said, just asking just feels wrong to me. And I've done it before. I've asked before and it just never felt right.
Yeah, I hear you. I know even with my mom, like I couldn't afford like a big funeral or anything for her, when she did pass away and stuff. So I basically just sold all my guns and used all my money from selling all my guns to pay for like her cremation and stuff, because I was like, I am not asking anybody for shit. I'll just figure it out myself.
God bless you. That's it. And you got it done.
I did.
You got it done.
And I just bought more guns when I had more money.
You got that exactly. See, you're like me. I've done the same shit. I've sold everything I've had. If I had to get something, I sold whatever I had to sell to get it and save whatever paychecks I had from whatever kind of job I was working at the time. So yeah, that's exactly what I've done my whole life.
Well, listen, I hope I really mean it from the bottom of my heart. I hope your boy is fine and they're able to fix him right up.
I appreciate that, Annie. That means a lot.
I know a lot of people in your chat and stuff. They don't like me, and it's okay. I'm cool with it. No, they don't need to like me. I don't give a shit. It is what it is.
Well, it is what it is. People don't like me. People don't like you. People don't like a lot of people. Fuck them.
I listen. I'm not even joking you. I don't agree with you on most of this, but I still love you as a person. I think you're awesome.
Mm-hmm. I know you don't. I know
mean?
you don't agree with me. I still see your messages. I still listen. I still see you and read everything you say. Like it is what it is. I respect that you have the balls to call up and speak or say anything that you want to say. So I mean, I respect that. Anybody who is able to call up and go against the grain, or there's a mass majority of opinion somewhere, and you just call up and speak what you feel, and I respect that. Regardless.
Well, I also feel like in this case too, we have so many inconsistencies from law enforcement themselves. I think that's why a lot of people question a lot of things, right? I mean, I'm no bootlicker. I'm not, here to prop up law enforcement as if they can't do no wrong. I mean, we got half the murders in this country go unsolved. We got people who sit in jail who are innocent and it takes them years to get out. So I'm not going to pretend that law enforcement doesn't fuck up because they do, So I'm not going to sit here and pretend that they don't. I do know that, like, even with this DNA, right? Originally, everybody thought this sheath and this DNA on this sheath, it was a wrap. It was a wrap, right? This was like, he's done. Well, the prosecution don't even want to use that shit. They filed an order of protection on that evidence. They don't want it even turned over to the defense. They don't even want it seen. They don't want anybody knowing how they tested it, how they came to their conclusions, nothing. So the only thing I could think of is maybe they've got other DNA, right? So I'm trying to play this from both sides, looking at it from both sides, prosecution and defense. If I'm going to toss this, if I'm the prosecution and I want, this evidence is so bad that I want to file an order of protection on it so that it may never be seen and never turned over to the defense. I'm hoping that if I'm the prosecutor, I have more, you know what I mean? I'm hoping I would hope they have more DNA, maybe like on a victim or something like that, that can tie him
I'm
to the
expecting
crime.
that. What did I, Andy? But
Yeah.
I say that every time. I'm expecting that. Like if
Yeah.
everything comes out and we don't, there's no other shit. I mean, they think different, and I've been saying that.
Right. Yeah, there's just a lot of shit going on though too. Like, you know, I kind of look at it in the sense that right up till the grand jury, you know, until they went to the secret grand jury, we had like 3 months there where the defense was just requesting, you know, issuing supplemental requests for discovery, January, February, March. And they weren't getting nothing, you know. And then finally, like the 11th hour, the prosecution hands over this defense discovery. And yeah, it's a lot, you know, 51 terabytes is a lot, but you have to remember, we're looking at 4 victims, their cell phones, their computers. This 51 terabytes isn't just Brian. You know, this is 51 terabytes of all evidence that was collected. It's likely got the 3D scans on it, things like that, you know. This isn't 51 terabytes of evidence against Brian necessarily, you know.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of shit that's questionable still with regards to even the secret grand jury, because I'm looking at it going, all right, so this is the guy, according to law enforcement, Chief Fry, everybody, this is the guy, right? They're like 100% positive they got the right dude.
Right.
In that case, well, then what do you need a secret grand jury for? Why wouldn't you just come up to the preliminary hearing and slap the shit out of the defense with everything you got against this person? If your case is rock solid, nothing the defense says is going to be able to counter what you got.
Right.
So even the whole secret grand jury thing just made me question even more what really is going on, because there's a lot we don't know. You know, everybody can speculate. And, you know, I agree with you, like, as far as creating new suspects, right? I don't think necessarily people are creating new suspects. I think what people are doing is they don't believe the narrative that they're being given, and they know that the or they suspect the prosecution has a pretty weak case. And so they're kind of looking at it in the sense that, all right, maybe time to go back to the drawing board here, because even the prosecution is like, okay, so this evidence, we don't want to use it. We're not going to use it in trial. The prosecution, in their response to the request for the discovery, right? This is in their response, that the reason that they aren't turning over the genealogical DNA evidence and the testing methods that were used on this genealogical DNA is because they believe that because they aren't using it at trial, the defendant isn't entitled to it. And I know for a fact that when you are accused of a crime, you've been arrested for a crime and you've been given counsel and you've requested counsel, your counsel and you as the defendant have a right, you have a constitutional right to any and all evidence, methods, and testing that law enforcement claims led them to you as the suspect. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, you know, if you were to say you were to get pulled over and you got a fucking pound of weed in the trunk, right? And the cops arrest you because you got this pound of weed in the trunk, okay? But then, you know, something comes along where maybe it wasn't yours. Maybe they run some fingerprints on it or something like that, and they got prints on it that don't come back to you. Your prints are nowhere on this brick that's sitting in your trunk, right? They can't then go back and say, well, we're going to suppress this evidence. We're gonna keep this from you and your attorney, even though we know it's not your prints or anything on there. We're going to suppress that shit, and we're still going to try you anyway. You know what I mean? That would be messed up. We're looking at a situation here where law enforcement themselves claims in their own sworn documents that this genealogical DNA is what led them to their suspect. And now the prosecution is trying to keep the defense from obtaining that genealogical DNA and the methods that they used to test it. Know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I know you do your homework.
I think that's why a lot of people, it ain't just me. There's a lot of us out there that have questions about this because we're reading these documents. Absolutely. We're reading what's in black and white coming from the defense and the prosecution both. Mm-hmm. You know? And I know that there's a lot of people out there, you know, that are like, oh, well, he stood silent. And, you know, it's his right.
To stand silent.
It's every single one of our right to remain silent. And I know that, I mean, I'm going to stand there and I ain't going to say shit, to be honest with you. I'm going to let my lawyer talk for me. I'm not going to say nothing, you know?
And you're right about that.
I mean, isn't that the point of having a lawyer? Right. Isn't that the point of having a lawyer so that your lawyer can defend you and you don't have to speak for yourself?
That's a fact.
You know? So, you know, I get it. I get it. There's a lot of shit going on and people get really heated and everything. And I mean, I have some hard questions that I know for a fact if I ask them, people in your chat would lose their shit because they would think that I am in some way blaming victims, blaming families, or something like that. And it's nothing like that. Right. It's just, these are just hard questions that nobody wants to ask, but they should be asked.
I mean, we got to face it this way. Regardless to how any of us feel, anyone in America who gets charged with anything, I don't care how much evidence is against anyone, you deserve a fair trial. And I do agree to that. I agree to a fair trial, regardless of what my opinion is, to what any, you know, who thinks or believes
but like,
what I believe,
dude, he
or
couldn't
not.
even get that. But he couldn't even get that because his defense and him were prepared for preliminary. They were looking forward to the preliminary hearing. They were looking forward to presenting their exculpatory evidence, their exculpatory witness. Mm-hmm. Brian was ready to give expert testimony on the detrimental effects of the media. And none of that shit happened. Do you get what I'm saying? So my theory here, and this is just my theory, I'm speculating. I want to make that abundantly clear. My opinion.
I appreciate you doing that because a lot of people don't.
No. This is totally my opinion on the prosecution going to the secret grand jury and why they waited till the 11th hour to turn over discovery. I believe they did it because they knew that defense had already contacted Bethany. Defense has already gotten statements from Bethany. Defense had already planned on using Bethany as the exculpatory witness at the preliminary. There's nothing the prosecution can do to prevent the defense from calling her up. Okay? And I think they knew that. And I think that that's why they went to the secret grand jury. It was, I hate to say it, but to me, in my opinion, it was an underhanded way for the prosecution to be able to go to an arena where there is no defense and you are not allowed to counter or argue anything that's presented. It is strictly only the prosecution presenting information and there is nobody there to counter it. So that's my opinion. And I personally think that's bullshit.
A lot of people are like, how do you know this? I'm just reading chat. How do you know this? How do you know how do you know he was ready to give statements? Or I see it
because it's in their documents. If you go and you read the docket.
Where can we find it?
You have to look in all of the cases of interest for Brian Kohberger and look at all of everything that's been filed by the defense and the prosecution. So the last document dropped by the defense prior to the secret grand jury hearing and all of that. It was like close to 200 pages. And in those pages, you're able to see exactly what the defense was looking for. They had already planned on presenting, and this was something from Jason Logsdon, which is the male attorney on Brian's team. Jason Logsdon himself says that Brian planned on presenting expert testimony regarding the detrimental effects of the media. This was to be done at the preliminary. So all of these documents, you know, and reading through them too, it's quite telling some of the things that the defense is asking for that wasn't turned over until like the 11th hour. You know, the defense is claiming that that Payne at some point interrogated Brian. They wanted the body cam for it. Do you see what I'm saying? So at what point, it's going to be interesting to find out at what point Payne interrogated Brian.
Mm-hmm.
Because if Payne interrogated Brian after Brian had already requested counsel in PA, if the interrogation came after that, without his attorney present, that's a problem.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's information in there that the defense was requesting from Moscow Police Department regarding an SA that was filed with them. You know? There's a lot of stuff in there. I would hope that everybody is doing their due diligence and actually reading the docket and reading the documents, because whether you think he did it or not, it's probably in everybody's best interest to actually read what the defense is requesting, what the prosecution is objecting to submitting. You understand?
Yes.
And, you know, to me, it's, for me anyway, reading the documents, because I know everybody gets really emotional about this stuff, and me and you have had this conversation before.
Yeah.
I leave my emotions out of it.
Yeah.
You know,
we've had this discussion, open panel.
Yeah, you have to leave your emotions out of it. And I'm sure, like Detective John, he would know exactly what I mean. You have to compartmentalize when you're looking at things like this. You can't operate based on emotion. You have to operate based on what you're looking at in black and white, what you know to be a fact, what you know has been said by either the families, law enforcement, whatever, you know. And even if you think Brian is 1,000% guilty and should be shot right now, like on the courthouse steps, if you haven't read all of those documents from the defense, you should, and then reconsider your position.
I believe he deserves a fair trial, but
I believe
I still think he's our
trial.
guy. I think he's our guy 100%. I'm not going to stop.
Well,
I didn't follow no mainstream media or none of that. Fuck mainstream media. I've said fuck mainstream media before I was ever even on Cuomo, Chris Homo, whatever the fuck his name is. And I'll say it afterwards. Fuck mainstream media. I developed my own opinion based on black and white, whether the people want to poke holes around everything that's out there. I think that we got our guy now. Does he deserve his fair day in court like I deserved my fair day in court when I had to go to court? Yeah, absolutely. 100%. 100%. Agree with that 100%. And if there is some fucked up shit in this case that comes out and it's on trial, then I'll definitely be calling it out.
I agree too. And unfortunately, with the media, when you have the media, people like Nancy Grace, people like Banfield, who already have him convicted, and they're perpetuating that narrative over and over again on repeat, just regurgitating that shit 24/7, it's a problem. Because this person isn't going to get a fair trial when you've got the media out there who've already convicted him. They're tainting the jury pool as far as I'm concerned, you know, because the media is supposed to be objective. The media is supposed to just present to you the facts, and then that's it. They're not supposed to editorialize and give you their emotionally based hyperbolic opinion on what they think. They're supposed to just present you with the facts and shit and then bounce. You know what I mean? They're not supposed to be up there on TV 24 hours a day convincing the public he's already guilty.
Right.
Know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, the mainstream media is gonna try to do what they do.
Yeah. Well, that's what sucks.
Just
Yeah,
like
and I
they
think
tried, well,
that's
just like
why.
Cuomo tried to get me when they called me on the show, and I can go through and prove it if they ever tried to bring it up for me saying this. But remember when I got that call,
Mm-hmm.
and they the whole reason they even reached out is because they thought that was Kohlberger that called me. And when I got up on there and when I was live and I said, you know, I reached out, I gave it to the FBI. And I know they got it, but I don't know if it's him or not. And I said that specifically when I was live on the air.
Right.
You know, I said if friends are saying it's him, then I gotta believe it's him. But I don't know that to be a fact, and that's the reason why they never
they're like
uploaded it to YouTube or anything. They got mad about it.
Yeah, they're like a dog on a bone. Any creator who they thought Brian may have called into, they wanted to talk to that creator and get them on the show. And, you know, personally, I don't believe Brian was calling true crime shows. I mean, I just don't. You know, that's just my personal opinion. But, you know, I agree with you in the sense that you say, I think they got the right guy and blah, blah, blah. Now, do I believe that Brian has put himself in the position to where police would rope him into this shit? Yes, 100%. I don't think Brian was just picked out of thin air. He had to have been involved in some way, shape, or form with what happened at this house. Whether or not he's the person who actually did the killings, I'm still not 100% on. I don't think he did. I don't. And I'll just be honest with you. And the reason I don't think he did is because, and I'm going to keep going back to it, whether people believe Bethany is the exculpatory witness or not, it doesn't matter because the defense believes it. And the defense is going to call her ass up. And there is nothing that the prosecution or anybody else can do to prevent that.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, I appreciate you calling in. I'm going to get some more people, a couple more calls before I hop off and spend time with my lovely fiance who just got home from work.
Who is also, oh, by the way, your fiance is a smoke show, dude. What?
What's that? What's a smoke show?
You're beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Annie was saying you're beautiful. She said, what's a smoke show? She can hear you. She said, what's a smoke show?
She is absolutely stunning, and you should be getting off the phone with me to go hang out with her instead, post show.
Yeah, no doubt. She just got home from work. She's a very busy woman, but she busts her ass. I love her to death. That's my baby.
Well, it was so good talking to you, and prayers for your Sosa.
Thank you, Annie. I appreciate you. I've always see you in the comments on the community posts all the time in your prayers. I don't think that those go unnoticed. I definitely see them, and I appreciate you. We both appreciate you. Thank you so much, and I appreciate you calling up and being respectful too. You're very respectful. Anytime. You're very respectful to me, so I don't, I don't have a problem with you.
I'm always respectful to you. I just don't like people screaming and yelling at me. Then I get all heated and shit, and we don't like that.
It happened. Hey, this case has got the passion behind it.
Yelling at people?
No, it gets like that, baby. It gets no, it gets smoky on panel with people. She's mentioning what shit gets fiery.
It does. But it's all good. I still love you no matter what.
Well, I thank you, Annie, for calling in. God bless you, and I hopefully hear from you. Take care. Thank you.
Lock your doors.
Lock your doors. Shout out to you. Shout out to Annie for calling in.
Why'd you say lock the door?
Because I say lock your doors. You don't listen to me. That's my number one saying. Lock your doors. I need a shirt made called Lock Your Doors. Because I say lock your doors, everybody.
Oh. I was just curious.
She said, what is lock your doors? What do you mean? I preach lock your doors. Lock your damn doors. What you mean? A motherfucker walk through there and kill you?
Actually, I don't think our car is locked. Does the car count?
Yeah, the car counts.
The car's not
Are you
locked.
kidding me?
The car's not locked.
Are you kidding me?
House is locked.
Pretend smoke show. She's passionate. She's passionated. She's beautiful. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Shout out to Athena. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. It's called Discovery, and you know yourself. That's all. Hold on. That is all part of the game. Don't hate the players. Hate the game. Hard questions. What if someone in Pennsylvania suspected it might be BK, so they gave their DNA willingly and law enforcement is protecting that person? I don't know. Black, is that on Black and White? Best in regards, Denise says. Denise says, best regards, y'all. Let's hope justice finds this outcome. Respect to that. Lawyers will play the game just to benefit each other. Let's see. 3 hours. Hold up. I think we should have the missus on here too. Well, when she feels comfortable enough, I'll have her on. When she feels comfortable enough to come up. She likes she goes into she checks out those deep dives of like Bam Margera and all that other the celebrity deep dives. You know, she goes through all that. That's what she's been trying to get me to look up, the one with Britney Spears or something with a blue eye, right?
No, you're tripping. It's a video of her that she posted on social media, and it like, so for a split second her face glitches and it's somebody else's eye color. So how could that be her? So is it really even Britney Spears this whole time?
Man, that's a good question.
People are asking if it's AI, like, because it like for a split second you could see a different bitch, and those are her like dead ass.
Well, shout out to everybody who is here today. I appreciate it. We've been on 3 hours. I'm gonna wrap this up and go hang out with her now. I love you guys. Thank you for being here and supporting me. We appreciate it. Thank you for all the prayers for Sosa. We appreciate it. God bless all of you, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Now let's do it this way.
Said that it's, you know, that's him 100%. I mean, without me hearing his voice, I'm like, you know, it's unconfirmed. But if you got friends that knew him and grew up with him saying it's confirmed, then I gotta say, hey, yeah, this is probably Brian Koberger. But, you know, I did send it into the FBI. I did clip that. I also went through 80,000 phone calls, found the number, sent it into the FBI as well, and they have that, and hopefully they get down to that information.
Good. Do you know that they are in receipt of it? Did they come back to you at all?
I know they have it. I never got an email back yet.